Thanks, Reese. You know, everything is bigger in Texas, and right now the stakes could not be higher or bigger for Elliott Sadler and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Elliott Sadler currently leads the points, and tonight he'll start on the front row. Stenhouse isn't far behind, though, in points and in position. He will roll off fifth. Two title contenders, 6 points between them, 3 races to go. Welcome to Texas.
On the plains of Texas, 2 shadowy figures emerge. They've ridden thousands of miles to stand here, face to face, with their legacies on the line. There's the Mississippi Kid, the youthful champion, winner of 6 races, including 1 right here in Texas. He has the crown, and he'll do anything to keep it. Then there's the Virginian, battle-worn veteran, winner of 4 races. For a decade and a half, he's dreamed of a shot at the title. Now it's here. He's not gonna let it slip away. Sure enough, 2 shadowy figures meet today in the Lone Star State. But only one will walk away.
Welcome to Texas Motor Speedway and NASCAR Nationwide Series Countdown, the last night race of the season. So between Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Elliott Sadler, they've combined for 6 wins on 1.5-mile tracks this season. And don't let them fool you. The pressure of this championship is clearly not getting to them. By the way, what is Texas? Texas is 1.5 mile track. Should be interesting what we see out there tonight. Welcome to our home away from home. It's the ESPN Pit Studio. Inside, I'm Nicole Briscoe alongside Rusty Wallace, Brad Doherty, and Ray Evernham. You know, the last time we saw these guys in action, we were in Kansas, and we got what was arguably one of the best Nationwide Series races of the season. Remember this, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. ran into some serious trouble when on lap 105 he got together with Joey Logano. Now, at the time, Stenhouse was running 5th, but ended up 2 laps down because the team had to work on the car. Stenhouse got a lap back when a caution came out on lap 139. He was in position to take a wave around when Sadler and the rest of the leaders came down pit road. Stenhouse was still fast. Then on lap 163, this happened. Another caution, and guess who got the lucky dog? Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The rest is history because Stenhouse went to victory lane for the 6th time this year. The points was cut to 6, and the points leader, Elliott Sadler, had to sit there and think about, really, for about 2 weeks, Brad, what could have been.
Yeah, you know what? But I think that Elliott, and I know I've talked to Elliott about this, he's moved on past that. They've had several mistakes throughout the season that could have cost them this championship hunt or being in the championship hunt. But he's a veteran race car driver, and he's put it away. He's filed it away. It was a mistake that was made. They're not going to let this affect their championship race tonight. So I think it's over with. I don't think they're focusing on it at all.
And Elliott's been doing his job. I mean, He's not making mistakes. He's running good. He's doing what he needs to do. You got to remember at Kansas, that was pit calls and circumstances. I think he has done a good job, but circumstances and the cards, if you will, haven't really fallen where he's needed them to in these situations.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Ricky Stenhouse, this guy's been game on. He's fast at the 1.5 mile. So Elliott's been solid, but he really hangs it out. And one thing I'm concerned about him for tonight, though, he tends to hang it out too far sometimes. He gets up on the wall. He tears that quarter panel off. He messes that car up. He's got to keep that in check tonight if he's going to beat Elliott, because Elliott hasn't been making many mistakes as far as driving.
Well, let's talk to the defending series champion, Dr. Jerry Punch, is with Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
And we were just visiting here, Ricky. One of your biggest assets, your aggressive driving style, which makes you so much fun to watch. But sometimes, as Mike Kelly, your crew chief, and Jack Roush, your car owner, say, that aggressive style allows you to bounce off things like you did a couple weeks ago at Kansas, and it makes them a little bit nervous. With that in mind, how much, if any, will you dial back the attack mode tonight?
I'm going to keep doing the same thing I do. I enjoy racing that way. It's the way I grew up racing, and it's gotten me to this position that we're in now. And our Nelson Energy Drink Mustang is really fast this weekend. A little loose in qualifying, but I think we got a great race car. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad they changed this race to a night race. I like racing under the lights here. We finished second with Knowles twice, so we got to get him a win.
Okay, 6 points separating you and Elliott Sadler. We saw you guys clowning around a moment ago. 3 races left. Who should be feeling the most pressure?
We don't feel any pressure at all. We're going to go out, have fun, do what we know how to do, and that's run up front and hopefully win another race. We won earlier in the year here, and I feel like we got a good chance, but we don't feel any outside pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself every week to go out and win, but that's what we show up for, is to win every week, and that's what we got to do these last 3.
Hey, thanks for being our in-race reporter, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
If you'd like to pose a question to Ricky Stenhouse, you can log on to ESPN.com, key phrase in Race Reporter, or tweet at NASCAR ESPN, and maybe your question will be asked to Ricky during the pace lap. So let's check in with Dave Burns.
Doc, the last 4 times the Nationwide Series has raced at a 1.5 mile track, Ricky and Elliott they've tallied the same number of points. So when you come to Texas Motor Speedway, Elliott, do you think advantage 2 team, and if so, why?
Well, I think we've been very good the last couple 1.5 miles. Definitely better this Texas race than we were here the first Texas race. And this particular car that we brought has shown a lot of speed and very competitive each and every track we brought it to. And it showed it again today for qualifying. I mean, for qualifying on the front row here with the One Main Financial car, feels good. We got a great pit selection. We got the track position that we wanted. And hopefully we'll be able to keep that all night.
For the winner tonight, what's the advantage going to be? What is the main thing that the winner has to keep in mind tonight? What's going to get him to victory lane?
Well, I tell you, we always have a lot of green flag racing here, so we tried to do a good job last night in practice of making my car wear all 4 tires very equally, and that's something like Ray Evernham and those guys can tell you about. If you got a car that's wearing all the cars very equal, it'll last long on a run, kind of like in Atlanta. And we learned a lot of stuff from that track that we've actually transformed to this track. Texas has really gotten very slick and really abrasive on the tires here the last few years we've come here, so we think we did a good job with that. We're very confident tonight. We want to go and give it our best shot. We want to go to victory, and I want to shoot those pistols one time, and we feel like we can do it. This car has been very, very fast and very comfortable to drive last night, so we should be in good shape tonight.
You heard him mention the great starting spot. Elliott's second tonight outside the front row, Nicole.
Well, at this point, 1 year ago, Ricky Stenhouse led the points by 15. It's 9 points closer this year, and if you look at how these two stack up here at Texas, it's about as close as the points. Only Stenhouse in this particular column has a slight edge. And by the way, Ray, Stenhouse has won 5 of his 6 races this year on this type of track.
Yeah, he's been fast. The kid has got speed. There's no doubt about that. The Fords have been strong. But we've also got to remember that Elliott Sadler has won here before. He's won in a Cup car.
Yes.
His car has some speed. And because, as Rusty said, of Ricky's aggressive style, that tends to use the car up. Where he's going to be up against the fence running fast tonight. Elliott is steady and on the bottom. And Elliott knows how to run at this racetrack.
Yes, he does. And we talk about the great program that Ricky Stenhouse is involved in at Roush Fenway and those Nationwide cars being excellent on the 1.5 miles. And then you look at Elliott, you look at consistency. He has been able to, throughout this season, take this race team and continue to put them in position to finish well at each race. So I think that's why he's got a legitimate shot at winning this championship.
Yeah, but Brad, one thing I'm worried about right now is, you take a look at Elliott Sadler. Elliott Sadler is a lame duck driver. He's not going to be with this team next year. He's moving on. But take a look at Ricky Stenhouse. Stenhouse is being elevated in the Roush organization. So Stenhouse is on it. I just wonder, how long can Elliott keep it going? How long can he stay committed to this team, knowing he's lame duck and be leaving?
That's a good point.
I think he's hoping he keeps it going for 3 more races.
That's all he needs.
He
Just
needs
a
to.
wild guess.
Can he do it,
The championship is on the line here in the Nationwide Series. It's also coming to an end in the Cup Series. And as this season comes to a close, our own Hannah Storm sits down with some of the biggest names in the sport. Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, and Brad Keselowski reflect on the season, and they look ahead to the final races in the chase for the Cup. It's a Sports Center special, NASCAR face-to-face with Hannah Storm, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN. And when we come back, sometimes change can be a very good thing. Just ask Danica Patrick. Since the arrival of her new crew chief, her results have improved. Better crew, perhaps better car, and it shows on the track. So take that same theory and apply it to Johanna Long, why her road to NASCAR is all about one opportunity and one good car at a time. That's when we roll on from Texas. Is it true that you used to race some of those, Brad?
I did. Them things, them Longhorns.
Race?
We have done
Used to ride them.
Say race?
To ride them things.
Oh.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. We're mixing it up a little bit this year. Cup Series race during the day tomorrow. The Nationwide Series race tonight under the lights. Kyle Busch will lead the field to green. But it was also a solid qualifying effort for Johanna Long and her small team. Long will start 21st. We do say this a lot. The Nationwide Series, it's where the future of this sport is born and developed. It's where names like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Austin Dillon are made. So Johanna Long is trying to make a name for herself too. And for Johanna, this racing thing is one day at a time and one race at a time.
Johanna Long having a very strong run today. 20-year-old from Pensacola, Florida right now, dazzling all of us.
I always watch my dad race, so it was cool to be like my dad and do something like he was doing.
Started racing dirt track cars and asphalt stuff at Pensacola.
When I turned 5 years old, I was like, Dad, let's go to a go-kart race. I want to race. It took my dad a long time for him to say, okay, I want you to race. He put me in softball, valet, everything he could put me in. Finally, when I was 8 years old, he let me try it out, and it's stuck ever since. I knew when Johanna was in go-karts, I knew she had a gift. I raced go-karts for 4 years, and then I moved up to a legend car. When I turned 13 years old, we went straight head first to late models, and I won races. I won a championship.
She makes history here tonight. Johanna Long wins.
When Johanna is on that track, Johanna's in her heaven. I was racing with my dad for her first couple of years, and that was cool.
Johanna Long to the inside of Casey Smith. Great move.
Here in 2010, I raced the biggest race of my career. It's called the Snowball Derby.
Landon Council to the lead. Long the second place.
I was leading when we took the white flag, and Johanna spun me out.
Can she get around Council? She puts a bumper. She turns him.
It was coming the last laps of the Snowball Derby, and I would have done anything to win, and I won it. I guess it's something that you never thought was going to happen. Her dad had tried for so many years.
You know, it was a big deal. It was special for everybody.
After I won the Snowball Derby, we got a truck team. We went truck racing.
Johanna Long makes her career debut tonight.
That's our leader right there. In front of this field, that's the 20 of Johanna Long. Those are the first laps she's ever led.
We ran 17 races.
That was going to be it. If we can find something where I can take what I was going to spend and pool it to where we can get her a better opportunity in the Nationwide Series, and I was all for it.
19-year-old Johanna Long in her Daytona debut in the Nationwide Series. She's in the hunt for a good finish.
Really impressed by Johanna Long. She's a good little race car driver.
I've seen progress from her all year long. Speaking of Johanna, we're checking a tweet by Jeff Burton. Here it is. Deserves a shot in a top 10 car.
Whenever she goes racing, she runs well. She's got speed. She's been able to qualify fast at some races, and then she's been able to go back in her late model car and be very competitive. And those things to me means that she can do it.
They've had some great runs. I remember Richmond. She's running up in the top 5 with us and really aggressive, really smooth, and can keep going and pushing as hard as she can. So I think she's gaining a lot of respect doing that.
Now Johanna Long getting by Denny Hamlin. I believe that puts her in 5th.
Main goal was just gain respect from all the drivers, and I felt like I've done that. Now I'm starting to race hard. My confidence is so much higher than it's been in a very long time. All you ever can ask for is someone to take a chance on you. I don't care who's beside me. I don't care who's behind me or in front of me. It's just all about making your dreams come true and blocking everything else out.
Have we had a good enough chance to make a fair judgment about how she's doing and how she's developing in this series?
I think we've had enough time to see that she's got the ability and the desire to get an opportunity at the next step. Right now, I think her next opportunity needs to be with a more experienced team, a more well-funded team, to find out if she can continue on.
Yeah, it's all about the dollars. Let's be realistic. She has proven that she has the ability, the talent, and I think with this race team, this ML race team, she has gotten the most out of this. She's done the best she can, tremendous amount of seat time. She's ready to take that next step, and no offense to her car owners, Mary Louise Miller and that group. They've done a great job, but she needs an opportunity to step up and get in the big-time equipment with great experience around her. I think she's a really talented race driver.
Buddy, I'll tell you one thing. When she won that Snowball Derby, she was running the top 5 throughout the night of that race, but wins that thing. That proves to me that she can get it done. And I watched her week after week, and we keep talking about it in the studio here about, hey, I'm seeing something good out of her. I'm seeing her run up front a lot. And you're right. She needs a little bit better car right now, but one thing I know about racing and what it takes to get you a better car, money buys speed.
That's
baby.
right, that does.
What you've said about her this year is we've seen snapshots of greatness.
Yes.
And the importance of having that good car and that good crew around you could perhaps be illustrated if you look at what Danica Patrick has gone through this year. They made some changes at Junior Motorsports. Ryan Pemberton is now her crew chief. Tony Uri Jr. is out. And look at the results for Danica in the last 4 races. The average finish, much better. And perhaps more telling than anything else, 0 DNFs.
Well, I think that the biggest thing from my understanding was the communication that the Uris had with the resources that were available through Hendrick Motorsports. And Ryan Pemberton has opened up that communication. They're using more of those resources from a big team that are available to them, which has increased the performance of the car.
Yeah, I spoke with Ryan Pemberton, and he's really been impressed with Danica's ability, and they're working on some things on the racetrack as well, in particularly her passing and being patient in the corners when she comes up on another car, being patient, making sure she puts herself in position to finish and complete passes. So they're doing a lot of great things, and she is improving dramatically.
Well, you having good people wrapped around you is everything. We all know that. And
Yeah.
Joanna is doing fantastic on the racetrack. Danica's doing fantastic on the racetrack. They both are. But Danica's got the elevated team already. Joanna now needs a team that Danica's got to get her up there and get her pass and get her running good. Because I know this gal's got the talent. I really do.
Well, speaking of Danica Patrick, this is pretty cool. More than 1,500 area school kids were in for quite a surprise out here at the track on Thursday when Danica presented awards for the Speedway's Speeding to Read program. The top individual readers, the top schools, and the top reading classrooms were all presented with this gigantic trophy, and they got a chance to take pictures with Danica, get autographs, and take pictures with that car that she's running tonight. And because we like to read sometimes, especially your tweets, you can join our conversation on the Twitter at NASCAR ESPN. Use the hashtag PitStudio. And also, as always, tweet us your seat from where and how are you watching the race tonight. We've got a few fans out here at the track taking in what is a gorgeous night in Texas.
Absolutely
tweet us your
beautiful.
seat at NASCAR ESPN.
That's a big trophy, Brad. Looks like something you have, buddy. It's built for
When
you,
we
man.
come back, the most dominant driver in the Nationwide Series this season is not a Nationwide Series driver. He's a Cup driver. It's Joey Logano. And the most dominant driver of all time in this series is also a Cup driver. His name, Kyle Busch. They've both been really good at Texas. So are those two the drivers to watch for the win tonight? That trophy, by the way, may have actually been taller than you.
Maybe. I like to read, though. I like to read menus.
That's funny.
Such a dork. Back in Texas, where we're enjoying the last little bit of daylight, that extra hour of sunlight we get before we have to turn the clocks back tonight. A little friendly reminder. And a friendly reminder for you fans, check out Race Buddy. It's enhanced coverage for select Nationwide Series races. With more cameras than ever, log on to NASCARNationwideSeries.com/Race Buddy. You know, there's always a fairly large list of double duty drivers in the field. There are 11 of them tonight. I think those guys are doing double duty as well. They'll be jumping in tonight and then jumping in for the race tomorrow.
Let's do that. I'll give him a ride in if you want to ride.
Check out these 5 double duty drivers that we've got: Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch. They have combined to win 124 times in this series. Joey Logano's been pretty successful this season, Vince.
He has indeed. Joey Logano's been the youngest winner in both the Sprint Cup and the Nationwide Series this season. And as far as this series is concerned, he's just flat out been the man. He's won 8 times. A lot of your wins in your career have been on mile-and-a-half tracks, but never here at Texas. What's been the big challenge here, and what do you see it tonight?
I don't know. That's we just had a totally different outlook when it came to practice here because I felt like I've been good here in practice and not very good in the race before. So I made sure we focused on what I think I needed for the race, and hopefully we went the right way. We didn't have a whole bunch of speed in practice because of that, but hopefully we went the right direction for the race and have the car that we need. So it might be really good. It might be just so-so, but hopefully it's on the good side.
We're going to find out here real quick. Joey Logano, he rolls off 7th tonight. Jamie?
Well, the last time we saw Kyle Busch in the Nationwide Series 2 weeks ago, ran out of gas, leading on the last lap. Good news, though, Kyle. You have a good car again, and you're on the pole. So what are your expectations tonight?
We just got to keep it together. You know, we've had some great runs this year. Everybody back at the shop's done a great job building us some fast race cars, and we've been getting better and better each and every week. So these KBM chassis are going good, and, we just got to get this Monster Energy Camry to victory lane and close this deal out.
Get rid of all that bad luck, right?
Yeah, hope so anyways. We'll see.
All right, Nicole, he has 5 wins here, but still winless in his own car.
And that pressure within Kyle Busch Motorsports is building. In fact, we heard Rick Wren touch on it when they got the win in the Truck Series in Martinsville. They really want to get Kyle Busch to victory lane in his own car. Can it happen tonight?
Well, it absolutely can happen. I think that Kyle Busch, as you look at him, his talent alone gives him a great opportunity. But you heard Kyle talk about the pieces and parts getting better and better and better. And I agree with him. He absolutely can win this race tonight.
And I think that, you're right about the pieces and parts getting better and better. I think when you win a lot and then you don't win, you go through a little bit of a shock that, oh my God, I'm supposed to win. I think he's over that, and I think they're focusing on the things that he needs to win. That guy will win a nationwide race before the season's out.
And they've got the car so much better right now. I mean, we really roughed them up earlier in the year about their engines weren't too good, but these Triad racing engines are much, much better right now.
Absolutely.
Cowell's on the pole. He's looking really, really good. You know, he needs to get a win in his own car. His brother got one earlier. He hasn't got it. He wants it real, real bad, and this is a fast hot rod he's got right now tonight.
I want to touch on Joey Logano for a second. He obviously has been very good this season in the Nationwide Series, but the last time we saw him, he got into a bit of a, shall we say, tussle with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It's how Stenhouse got into that little accident in Kansas. That drama sort of played out through the rest of the race. Is that Stenhouse-Logano issue done? Finished?
Yeah, absolutely, Nicole. It's done. It's finished. They can't let it go on any bit at all. They both know that. They both want to win right now. Stenhouse has got a championship going on. This guy, Joey, is just racing for the win. He's not going for a driver's championship, so they can't get in a tussle, and Ricky can't get over and try to rough him up at all tonight.
Yeah, both of these guys also have cars that can win this race. I mean, hands down, these two guys have two of the fastest race cars. So they're not going to jeopardize.
They had cars that could win the race 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
didn't stop.
No, they're not going to jeopardize that. That was an incident that happened, and they couldn't get away from it. Ricky got into him. Joey got mad. That's over with. Believe me, they won't.
No, it's not. I heard Joey say he's going to take Ricky out. Ricky said he's got not afraid of Joey.
Knocks his head off.
Look, I know the crews are watching, so I want to see a little action tonight. I think it's over. I wish it wasn't, but I think
I'd
it
really
is.
like to ask you guys who you think will win the race. I know
Oh, no, come on.
I won't. I'm
They
going to
gotta
stick to
run the race.
something
That's why they run the
that's
race.
going to be a bit more predictable. At least it's kind of 50-50. When this night is over, who will be leading the championship? Will it be Elliott Sadler? Will he retain the lead, or will it be Ricky Stenhouse Jr.?
No, I think it'd be Elliott Sadler. I think he'll hold on to it. Why? Because he's a real smart driver. He's not going to jeopardize his car. I've seen Ricky Stenhouse hanging out, hit the wall, put himself out of the race. Ricky's going to be really fast tonight, but I think Elliott's going to drive smarter.
Elliott Sadler. I don't know if Ricky will bring that car back home in one piece tonight, but I think Elliott will.
I think Elliott will, and I think it's because Ricky won't be able to get maximum points because one of those Star Cup guys is going to take the win tonight and stop him from getting the maximum
good
points.
point.
That is something else to see how this championship plays out. The Cup guys, the Cup crashers, they may.
I wanted to pick who was going to win. We
Well,
didn't get
who do
to
you
I don't want to
gonna
do
win?
that.
No. Who do you think is going to
No,
win?
never mind. No, I ain't doing
Let me
that.
guess. You're going to go with Joey Logano or Stenhouse?
I'm taking Joey Logano.
I'm picking
Anyway,
Kyle Busch tonight. Kyle's going to win tonight.
When we come back, it is Marty, Andy, and DJ. They're going to join this fray for pre-race ceremonies, plus the challenge of practicing and qualifying during the day and then racing at night. That is coming up next.
Everything's bigger in Texas. Oh, yeah, sure, it's easy to shrug that off as cliche, but is it really a cliche if it's also the truth? Everything is bigger today. The pressure, the stakes, the importance of each and every move, decision, and pit stop. Yeah, everything's bigger everywhere you look in this state. But today, nothing's bigger than what happens right here, right now.
Oh, the stakes are very high, definitely indeed, in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. We're at Texas Motor Speedway, and just 3 races remain before we crown a champion between the points leader, Elliott Sadler, and the man that is just 6 points behind, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Yes, indeed, a lot of pressure. They may say they're not feeling it, but believe me, they're feeling it, and it's about to get underway. Let's go trackside for the opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the United States Army Reserve 1st Brigade 95th Division presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Texas Motor Speedway Chaplain Father Jay Atwood offers tonight's invocation.
Eternal God, Heavenly Father, we give you thanks. We give you thanks for the freedoms we enjoy in this country and the men and women who defend those freedoms every day around the world. We give thanks and we salute the citizens who have endured and been affected by the storms in the East. We've been encouraged by their strength, their valor, and we ask that you continue to protect and provide for them. As we go to racing, we lift up to you the drivers, the sponsors, the crews, and their teams, and ask for your safety and protection. Allow the competitors to do what they do to the best of their ability. And we dedicate this race to the heroes throughout this country and around the world that have reached out to help rebuild the heartbeat of those people being affected. and remind each of us that what we do to your honor and glory. This we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
And here to perform our national anthem, please welcome 77th Army Band from Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Great flyover, good opening ceremonies, and we too and ESPN family want to send our best wishes for a quick recovery to everyone that's been affected by Hurricane Sandy. Those of you that have power, glad that you're with us tonight here on Saturday evening. Marty Reed along with Andy Petrie, Dale Jarrett. And as we get ready for tonight's race, mile and a halves have been good to the top two contenders for the championship. One's been better in the victory department. The other's been better on average.
Yeah, they've both been very, very solid. But Ricky Stenhouse has the advantage with 5 victories on these mile and a half, including that win just a couple of weeks ago at Kansas. Look for him to be right in the mix tonight. He loves these fast racetracks where they're slick. He has to really hang the race car out. He will be right in the mix again. Elliott Sadler had his work cut out for him. He's going to continue that points lead.
Yeah, they are. Both these cars have been good on mile and a half, but there's other cars that are going to have to beat tonight. A lot of these Cup drivers in the field, there's a lot of talent here that they're going to have to outrun. I think that these two contenders are going to be up there contending for the win, but they're going to have a lot of company at the front.
All right, let's talk a little bit what's happened throughout the day. We had high temperatures, and we practice and qualify in the sunshine. Now we're going to race in the evening when everything's going to get cooler. So from a driver's perspective and a crew chief's perspective, what's going to happen tonight?
Well, the track is definitely going to change. This is one of those racetracks when it cools down, it really does change. And I think you're going to have to see somebody adjusting on their car. Whoever wins this race is going to adjust on it a lot, and they're going to have to make these adjustments, make their car very adjustable. The track is going to be a temperature we haven't seen yet. It's going to get really cool tonight, and it's going to change the car.
Yeah, it always makes it difficult for a driver when you have to kind of guess at what you're looking at as far as the racetrack, the grip level that you're actually going to have. But giving great information back to the crew chief, there won't be a lot of pit stops there to make, but you have to make the right adjustments when you get that opportunity.
All right, well, as you can see, drivers are strapping in. There's our points leader as he's getting ready to see if he can hold on to that points lead. And we'll fire the engines when we return to Texas Motor Speedway. Beautiful sight here at Texas Motor Speedway, just less than 10 minutes away before we go green here in the third to final race of the 2012 NASCAR Nationwide Series season. There are the two top contenders, Elliott Sadler starting second, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starting fifth. Let's get an update on these two championship contenders. First up is Jamie Little.
Well, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. may have closed that points gap at the last Nationwide Series race, but it's Elliott Sadler who is the point leader. But when it comes to Texas, he must step up. He doesn't have a win here in the Nationwide Series, and he has an average finish here of 14th. Now, Elliott noted earlier today he must win another race, and that is because the guy who's chasing him, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., is quite good at these last three tracks. Right, Dave Burns?
That's certainly true, Jamie. 2 weeks ago at Kansas, Ricky Stenhouse and the 6 team did it the hard way. Self-inflicted damage, laps down, wave around, free pass, racing luck, victory lane. Practice this weekend had similar drama. Uncomfortable steering box, leaky rear end housing, fender rub, front bumper damage, all repaired. Great race car. They're hoping they got the drama out of the way early this week. Let's go to the command to start engines.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to give the command to start tonight's O'Reilly Auto Parts Challenge, Ian Nelson from Groovy Automotive.
Drivers, start your engines!
Bring it up. Okay, Austin, go ahead and fire it up.
So the engines have fired on the 43 cars that'll get ready to take the green flag here at Texas Motor Speedway. And fans, we want to remind you, check out Race Buddy. It's enhanced coverage for select Nationwide Series events with more cameras than ever. All you have to do is log on to NASCARNationwideSeries.com/RaceBuddy. All right, our in-race reporter tonight, got to tell you, this is a great choice because it is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Remember what happened just a couple of weeks ago at Kansas? Stunned everybody, gets into trouble early with Joey Logano, goes 2 laps down, somehow finds a way to come.
Don't ever question the heart of a champion. Don't ever doubt the importance of been there, done that, of being transformed inside the pressure cooker of a championship season. The kind of champion that can pull off what this champion pulled off at Kansas. No, don't ever question the heart of a champion, especially when a second championship is within sight.
It's within sight by just 6 points as we head into tonight's race here at Texas Motor Speedway. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the 1.5-mile tracks in 2012. Well, of his 6 wins, 5 of them have come on the 1.5 miles. Why is his average 6.5? Well, he did have 2 bad races, a 26th at Charlotte, a 17th in Kentucky. Brought that average to that 6.5. Let's dial him up. Talk to him, DJ.
Hey, Ricky, it's Dale Jarrett. We were just showing our viewers your outstanding record on the 1.5-mile tracks this year with 5 victories, including an amazing win a couple of weeks ago at Kansas. That leads us to our mailbag question. It comes from Kenzie in Evans, West Virginia. What is it that you like about 1.5-mile tracks that has made you so successful on them this year?
Well, it starts off with a great crew and great race cars, a great engine shop, and it's a whole package. It's a racetrack that I like to run really hard, and they allow you to do that. So a 1.5-mile tracks are a lot of fun, especially this one here in Texas.
Ricky, we enjoy watching that way that you drive these tracks, going kind of all out. Now that you're in a battle, 3 races left, 6 points separating you from Elliott Sadler. Is it kind of business as usual? You're going to keep that same style? Or how much information will you want to know about that 2 car tonight?
I don't want to know any information about the 2, man. I need a great night in this NOS Energy Drink Mustang. We focus on what we're doing. If we go out and win this race, we gain points no matter what. So we're going to go out and do business as usual and see where we end up.
All right, thanks for talking with us. We're going to have fun riding along with you. Now, Andy's going to talk to your crew chief, Mike Kelly.
Thank you, Dale.
Hey, Mike Kelly, Andy Petrie in the booth. You got a fireball behind the wheel of that car, and he does you a great job. I got to ask you, though, coming down to 3 races to go to win this championship, are you going to be pulling on those reins tonight, or are you going to let him have his head and go for the win?
You know, Andy, you hit it on the nail. You know, Ricky drives the car hard every lap, all night long, and we're not going to change anything we've done to get us where we're at tonight. You know, he knows how to take care of the race car, and he won't put himself in jeopardy tonight. Hopefully we'll get out of here with a W.
All right, we appreciate you talking to us, and good luck tonight and through the rest of the season. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, man, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
One of the roadblocks, and you heard the crew on Countdown talk about it, could be the 11 double-duty drivers. 5 of those drivers total 124 nationwide wins between them. That means the other 38 have 91 victories. And for more on this topic, let's check in with Dr. Terry Bunch.
Talking about that, Marty, some of the heavyweights in stock car racing, you saw Kevin Harvick, a 4-time winner here in Texas, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman, Joey Logano. You know, these guys not here just to race, but to win the race. And if they were to finish up front or win this race, it could impact what happens with the Nationwide Series point standings, leaving here, taking up spots where Stadler or Stenhouse could finish, you know, and this race is over. Another guy to consider, how about Kyle Busch, a 5-time winner here, and of course tonight's pole sitter. With more on him, here's Vince Welch.
Doc, no driver in the history of this series has won more races than Kyle Busch. He's been to victory lane 51 times in his career, but this season, 0 for 19. He's been close, but he hasn't been able to get the victory lane, and his team is feeling the pressure. Crew Chief Mike Beam says, we don't need good breaks, we just need to avoid the bad break. Will tonight be the night Kyle gets to victory lane and wins for the first time in his own equipment? He's got a good start. He rolls off from the pole, Marty.
Vince, 5-time Texas winner Kyle Busch is. He's the only driver starting in that top 5 without a win here in 2012. Like you said, maybe tonight's the night. Let's check in on our dual path onboard cameras as the number 2 of Elliott Sadler will carry the Chevy onboard camera.
You got the E out there? Yeah, I got it. Got it, boys. Y'all have fun tonight. Keep doing what you're doing.
The number 3 of Austin Dillon, the Advocare on board. The number 6 with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and our Ford EcoBoost camera. Danica Patrick, as always, with GoDaddy.com. Denny Hamlin has Toyota riding along in the number 18. 2 for Nationwide Insurance, Joey Logano in the 20. And Justin Allgaier in the 31.
Hey, you ever watch Dancing with the Stars? I haven't in a while. Your first qualifying lap today, you had about 6 guys up here with a 9 and a 9.5 sign.
That's because he was sideways during qualifying. And the last camera is Kevin Harvick with our Goodyear onboard camera. All right, our over-the-wall man is Mark Hollywood Armstrong, rear tire changer for the 54 Kyle Busch. Hollywood, you're pitting for the winningest driver in the history of the series, but he has no wins this year. How much pressure's on you guys tonight?
There's a lot of pressure on us tonight. Our job's to focus, try not to make mistakes. We know there's opportunity for mistakes because you have to hang it out on the edge. But one thing about it, we're in this together as a team for that monster Toyota, and if there is a mistake, what better guy to have behind the wheel than Kyle Busch? Marty?
All right, thanks, Hollywood. You be safe at that wall tonight. Pace car has pulled off. The field led by Kyle Busch on the inside comes down. The O'Reilly Challenge at Texas is green. Got an idea just how bumpy turns 1 and 2 can be. There's also a number of bumps in the 3-4 section of the track. Kyle Busch has the early lead with Elliott Sadler in hot pursuit.
Yeah, that's what the drivers have talked about most of all, is just how rough this racetrack is. It used to be you could go up high and get away from some of that, but that's become the roughest part of the track, especially in the center of turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Second in the points, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets around. Third in the points, Austin Dillon. 30 car, Ryan Newman trying to make a move there on the 51 of Jeremy Clements. Ryan did not qualify very well. In fact, they've been struggling in that car all weekend.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. You expect Ryan Newman coming over this series to be right up front, and I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this night he is up there.
Yeah, on the other side of that, Jeremy Clements there in the 51 had a great qualifying effort. Looking for a solid night from him.
Clements qualified 13th. We get back to Kevin Harvick in the 33 with now Ricky Stenhouse Jr. closing in on his back bumper.
Drivers right now are really seeing a racetrack that they haven't seen this weekend. It's much cooler, the track temp's cooler, and it's going to continue to change as we go through this 300 miles.
Ricky's going to try that high line, and the bumps get more difficult up there. You saw that right there.
Yeah, you can see how harsh those bumps are, too. The way these cars, the suspension is on these cars, it really is rough when they hit that.
Doing that for 200 laps, what's it do to a driver's back?
Yeah, it's not good for you. Yeah, you got to make sure that you keep your mouth closed kind of too. You don't want your cheek getting your teeth knocked out either and through that. And it really is violent. It's what we can see here on TV. It's even worse sitting inside the race car.
Action a little deeper. The 20 of Joey Logano getting underneath the 3 of Austin Dillon. And of course, some fans may be wondering why Joey is in the 20 instead of the 18. Of course, the 18 is in contention for the Owners' Championship, and Joey's been on the hot streak. There's Denny Hamlin in the 18 as he is getting around Danica Patrick. And it really came down to a sponsor commitment that was made at the very beginning of the season, and that's why Denny's in the 18. Danica Patrick had a good qualifying effort this weekend.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some more speed out of these junior motorsports cars. Saw it qualifying, and I think we're going to see it tonight in the race. Both cars, Cole Witt and Danica Patrick, running really well.
She finished 8th here at the Texas race in the spring. working that steering wheel.
Well, she's got her hands full kind of right now, having to try to get the speed out of this thing. But that's what this place would do. It's extremely fast, and the bumps will make that happen. As you see, battle for third here. It's not much of a battle right now. I don't think Kevin Harvick may give up that spot. He's going to try to make that high line work and get a big run off the corner, though.
And he does carry the momentum, and so this battle continues down, and he retakes the position. And here we go again as Stenhouse goes low.
Where Harvick is there is as high as we've seen anybody through the practice sessions here yesterday for these nationwide cars and even cup practice earlier today.
Still not able to seal the deal, as here comes the 33 right back. It's the longer way around, but he's getting the momentum coming off the corner.
There's a couple of things running up there. You can carry a little bit more momentum. You can see Kevin back out of the throttle, let his car roll, but he'll get back to the gas earlier than what Stenhouse will on the bottom, and that literally is making the straightaway longer for him as he's in the gas harder and longer.
And Joey Logano sitting back there making notes on both of them.
Yeah, when you can't let the car go up off the corner, it actually puts a little more strain on the tires in the car. And finally, it can actually take, you can see right now, it looks like Harvick's able to get that advantage and keep it.
And Joey has now pulled up even closer to the 6.
Yeah, you can see Stenhouse really had his hands full off of turn 2 that time. He was trying, looked like he tried a little harder maybe to see if he could make that pass, make it work down the back straightaway to get by Harvick.
While all this has been going on, Kyle Busch has been opening up a 1.7-second lead. He has 11 career wins from the pole, including Texas back in April of 2009. Does he do it again tonight? Under our first caution of the night here at Texas Motor Speedway is the 19 of Hal Martin, one of 7 drivers in the field who never competed here at Texas in the series, as he, as you can see, top of the screen gets into the wall.
Yeah, it looked like he might have cut a right rear tire down and kind of chased it up the racetrack into the wall a couple of different times here.
He gets into it a couple more times after the first impact.
All right, I'm going to ask this question. I think I know the answer. You think anybody's going to come at all?
Well, it's pretty early. It's about 13 laps. I'm not sure if they'll come. I'll tell you that they would probably want tires at this point, but they only have 6 sets of tires during the whole weekend, so they only got this set and 3 more on the ground.
And we have a total of 37 cars on the lead lap, so you would lose a ton of track position if you did.
Let's just wait and see what they do.
A couple make the fake.
Yeah, they want to come down pit road.
But they all stay out. A little farther back, we do get a couple of takers. We're going to step aside. We'll update you on who those cars were when we return to Texas. All right, the top 17 stayed out, and there's a bit of a controversy going on with the 6th car, because we'll show you what happened. He's actually been bumped back a spot for not maintaining pace, car speed. So let's go back to the moment where they all faked like they were coming in and take us through it.
We saw that a number of them looked like they may possibly, you can see Ricky Stenhouse there just maybe a half car length behind Kevin Harvick, but decides to stay out. Joey Logano had pulled up beside him, which really, I don't agree with this call at all.
They have given Joey Logano the 4th position, moved Stenhouse back to the 5th position.
He said we didn't maintain speed under caution. I don't know when that was.
Huh. New to me. I mean, we followed everybody in front of us the whole time. I mean, the 20 maybe sped up and it looked like we were running. I don't know.
That's what he did. He ran alongside you, but we're all going the same speed.
Well, the good news is it's only 16 laps into a 200-lap race.
Yeah, but I think that's a very small margin there. If that was exactly what it was for right there, what we showed, which what we're being told, I seriously don't agree with that at all.
All right, let's reset it for you, because Kyle Busch is your race leader. He has led all 16 prior laps. He's selected drivers left. That is Elliott Sadler right alongside. Then in row number 2, it's Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano. Then in row number 3, you see Austin Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Denny Hamlin, Cole Whitten in row 4, then row 5, Sam Hornish Jr., and Danica Patrick. Green flag flies. Here we go.
Sadler did not get a good start at all.
Yeah, tough place to get started. You'll spin your tires a lot, really flat front straightaway, and I believe that's exactly what happened to Elliott Sadler there on that start.
And look at Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He got the bit between his teeth. And he's pulling up alongside the 2 car.
Yeah, they might have done him a favor by putting him in that position.
They're still side by side as we go on board with Joey Logano back to 5th. Already Kyle Busch opening up a bit of ground. Some side-by-side action between the 88 of Cole Witt and the 20 of Logano. Cole Witt, last few races, really been showing us that he's got some driving capabilities. He's fighting for a job.
Yeah, he really is. He is fighting for a job. But we've seen a lot of speed. Andy pointed this out. That we've seen a lot more speed out of this race team, and Cole Witt's putting it to good use.
The 12 of Sam Hornish Jr. in that mix as well. You know, you were talking about Cole Witt. He was 5th at Kansas, 13th at Charlotte, but before that, 2 6th-place finishes, Kentucky and Dover. Check in now as Elliott Sadler and the 33 side-by-side. So it's now Kyle Busch, Elliott Sadler, Kevin Harvick, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Stenhouse still working the bottom, trying to get by Kevin Harvick. And Harvick working that top pretty well.
Yeah, you can see as a teammate to Elliott Sadler, Harvick was a little more lenient with giving Sadler some more room. Not quite so much for Ricky Stenhouse there.
Let's get more on that 33 car. How about it, Vince Welch?
Kevin Harvick really rolling the top well, but he says it's just too tight on the bottom. That's why you've seen him running that higher line. Just can't get the drive off the turns when he's on the bottom, running that bottom line. So forced to go up top. If anybody could have used some adjustments during that yellow, it would have been Harvick, but not in their window, so they elected to stay out.
All right, thank you, Vince. Well, I got a quick moment. 3 cars have pulled behind the wall. Now make it 4. Kevin LePage, J.J. Yeley, Josh Wise, and T.J. Bell.
You could hear Harvick really working the gas coming off the corner there, like this car wasn't exactly like he needs it.
Joey Logano now getting that low line to work for him. And Logano's going to go around Ricky Stenhouse Jr., so move him into the 4th position. And Kyle Busch is trying to check out here, guys. His lead is up to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, as we watch the rest of these drivers search around for different grooves, Sadler in the middle there. We've seen Harvick up on the very top. Kyle Busch has not been off the white line yet on the bottom, and he's making a lot of speed there.
Here's one for you. Kyle Busch has now led more than twice as many laps at Texas than any other driver. He's got 5 wins here, and he has clicked off 22, now 23 and counting.
Well, the way his season's gone, I mean, he's had fast cars quite a few times, but it's always something that keeps him from winning. I bet he's wondering, okay, tonight I've got a great car. What's it going to be tonight?
Yeah, but you really have to admire this race team. All that they've been through in a pressure-packed situation, they've continued to work hard. In the pits, on their race cars, they've made a lot more speed than what they had earlier. Now they're not just having to rely on their driver. They do have the cars to get it done.
Let's get more on this 54 from Vince Welch.
Well, you really see the stress on these guys, though, when you're around them and you talk with crew chief Mike Beam. The stress of having been so close. Number one, the challenge that they faced at the beginning of this season, starting off with a brand new team and then getting so close like last week where they were leading the race, running out of fuel on the final lap. They want so desperately to get Kyle Busch his first win in his own equipment. Maybe bad news for the rest of the field. Kyle radioed in just a moment ago. This car is really good.
Yeah, that is bad news when he's not tweaking on that radio. Side-by-side action there is Sam Hornish Jr. going underneath Cole Witt. That's the battle for the 6th position. Give it to Sam. And both of them are closing on Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
It looks like Stenhouse has got a problem with his car right now. I'm sure he's going to look to that next caution to get in and make some adjustments on his car.
A little deeper in the field. That's Ryan Newman getting passed by Danica Patrick, and here comes Ryan Blaney in the 22 to get in that mix. So move Danica to the 11th spot, 11th, 12th, and 13th. And it looks like Newman's car may have the same problem that Kevin Harvick has. Can't keep it down on the bottom, and here comes Blaney.
Can't keep it on the bottom, and it's not driving good up top.
That's a real problem. All right, let's get an update on that 30 car. How about it, Dave?
And when Ryan Newman wants to go back to the gas pedal about right in there somewhere, it doesn't turn well for him. So tight off the corner is the biggest complaint by the veteran Sprint Cup driver now.
Newman, the 9th different driver in this number 30 car in 2012. His last start was Phoenix back in February of 2011. He's trying to hold off Blaney. Talked to Ryan yesterday. I said, what do you think about this track? It's the first time he's raced here in anything. And he said, man, it's so technical. He says the way you fall off in turn 2. And he said he even made a comment that turn 3 was harder to get into.
Yeah, it is a tough corner to enter with a lot of speed.
Well, there's your man that is out front and leading, Kyle Busch. And he is out front by 1.2 seconds. Welcome back to the NASCAR Nationwide Series O'Reilly Challenge here at Texas Motor Speedway. Fans, remember to check out Race Buddy. It's enhanced coverage for select Nationwide Series races. We have more cameras than ever for you this year. Just log on to NASCARNationwideSeries.com/RaceBuddy. And since we left you folks, Kyle Busch's car has sort of fallen off a little bit. Kevin Harvick's has come to him a little bit, and that's the gap.
Well, Dale got it right. He said that Kyle had been on the white line down the bottom of the racetrack all that first part of the run. He looked in his mirror, though, and he saw Harvick coming on the top. Now, where is he running?
Yeah, and I think he might have hurt his tires. He might have got his car pushing a little bit by using them up down the bottom that much. He's had to move up now. He's been able to keep Harvick back there now. They've kind of took his line away from him for the time being.
Kevin Harvick, his last of 4 Nationwide Series Texas wins was 5 years ago today, back in 2007. He has 1 win this year in the series. And I'm sure he'd like to spoil Kyle's day and make it 2.
Hey, last time we saw this 33 car with Paul Menard behind the wheel at Kansas, he was on his way to possibly winning that race too before he ran out of fuel. So had to know Harvick was going to be strong here tonight.
Let's check in on another battle. There's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 6, Cole Witt in the 88. That is for 6th on the racetrack. Well, that pass looked very easy. Let's go back a couple of laps ago and show you what happened to Cole as he tried the same maneuver.
You can get a big run off the bottom of the corner, but you need all of that racetrack to make it work.
And that's what a lot of guys were looking like during qualifying today. They were wicked loose coming out of 4.
Yeah, they didn't have a car on the outside of them.
Doc, what are you hearing on that 88?
Well, you talked about how impressive Cole Witt has been here, coming off a top 5 finish at Kansas. It's the same car he ran at Kansas, and right now, from about the get-go, he's complained the car is loose on entry and loose on exit. As you saw, he had his hands full a moment ago. But the young man has changed his line a little bit and adapted, showing some real experience and talent, able to make that pass with a loose race car over Ricky Stenhouse.
He was the 3rd quickest car on the track last lap, so he's found something.
And I think that's some of the maturity that we've seen from the beginning of this year. In a situation with a car like this, either he couldn't go forward with it or he would make a mistake with it, and he's not doing those things now. You can see he backed off, didn't crash the car, got another run at Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and made the pass and is pulling away.
It's the lap vehicle, the 41 of Juan Carlos Bloom that everybody was going around. Joey Logano, who has been running some very quick laps as this run continues, trying to track down the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
That lap there was about as high as Sadler's been. He hasn't been quite as high up as what Kevin Harvick has been up there, but a lap car there with Logano on his inside kind of forced him up there. We'll see if it may have found something for him.
Well, you know, we talk about the fact Joey has the most victories in the series this year, 8. You know that 6 of them came on tracks that he had never won before? And guess what? He hasn't won before here at Texas, so maybe another omen.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. This Gibbs organization, they're just so strong in this series.
Coming up on some slower traffic there. The 39 of Tim Andrews. Let's check in with Jamie Little.
Well, Elliott Sadler, DJ, you mentioned it. He's moving around a little bit as Joey tries for the inside again on Elliott Sadler. Doesn't quite get it, but he said he's just losing grip overall. Rear grip, actually, is the problem as he runs longer. And the team telling him he's losing time on late exits. So he definitely wants to fix this car up. He said he's getting a little bit tight on center and edgy on exit as that 20 goes to the inside again, Marty.
And they're side by side. And now Joey looks to be able to open up the ground and seal the deal. We'll find out. Yes, I think he's got him now. So move Joey Logano up into that third position. Elliott Sadler trying to take it back from him. There's your top 5 here at Texas. Green flag pit stops are not too far away. There's your points leader. Well, you're looking at the reason why we have our second caution. Notice the wire reinforcement in that little piece of tubing, and watch what happens. That's the 6 car running over it. But they probably will be coming in as everybody is loaded up for a pit stop here, as we have knocked down 45 of the 200 laps. And here comes the race leaders, led by the 54 of Kyle Busch, looking for his first win this year and 6th here at Texas. Let's check in with Jamie Little.
Well, Elliott Sadler said he just needs more grip overall. A little bit tight as they run. The call is for 4 tires. They'll fill them up with Sunoco fuel. Meanwhile, the 20 of Joey Logano, bottom left-hand side, they want to take a big swing at it. He said that he's getting just a little bit tight. Rubber out of the left rear wedge and 4 tires, Vince.
Right side of your screen, Kevin Harvick started out way too tight, but started getting good as the run went on. 4 tires, air pressure, no changes. Kyle Busch, 4 tires, just a little tape on the grill for the 54 of Kyle Busch. Off pit road, it's Busch.
There you see the race off pit road at Cole Witt and Denny Hamlin pick up spots at the expense of Sam Hornish Jr. And you're saying, where's Austin Dillon? Well, he had pitted under green just before the yellow came out. So he'll probably take the wave around. We'll update his position right after the break. And as we go to break, let's go over the wall with Mark Hollywood Armstrong. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. And what we can inform you about right now is that we have knocked down 48 of the 200 laps. We're in our second caution. Eric Darnell will get the free pass, and it looks like Austin Dillon will get the wave around. He's the only one, and he will be the 27th car on the lead lap. So he's got a long way to go. There's your front row, the 54 of Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, and this is so close on the race off pit road. Let's take you back.
This is where that number 1 pit stop really comes in handy. The pit stop on the 54 wasn't quite as quick as Harvick's pit crew, but he had that pit stall and he didn't have to accelerate. He got to the line first.
And as we get ready to go back to green flag racing, there's the Fast 5. That's a great job by Harvick's crew, 13-2. And that first pit stall, as you said, DJ and Andy, Kyle Busch was saved by that position. His was
Motorsports, both of theirs, Junior Motorsports, both of their cars having great pit stops.
So Kyle Busch as the race leader, he's led every single lap so far. As the crowd gets ready to come to their feet again, pace car has pulled off. And as we come by this time, we'll have completed 49 laps. Here we go. Kyle Busch 4 fresh Goodyears. He's good for another 60 miles. He is just pulling away again.
Yeah, they really have this car hooked up, especially on the get-go of these. He's just able to make so much more speed down the bottom.
See the sparks flying. Looks like it's out of that 88 car. So will.
There is Cole side by side with Elliott Sadler. Now Sadler gets in front of him. He's able to get down on that low line, and there's Harvick in the middle of the track again in that 33.
Yeah, but he was able to hold Logano off for that second spot there, staying in the middle of the track.
So it's Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Elliott Sadler, and Cole Whitt. That is your top 5. Ryan Blaney and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Blaney going underneath him. And Blaney is going to take over the 8th spot.
Yeah, Blaney continues to be very impressive, especially in race situations. Qualifying still a little bit of a concern for him, but that's something that he'll learn how to make these things go fast. But doing an excellent job during the race.
I'm really surprised, though. Stenhouse is not any faster at this track. I really expected more from him tonight.
Yeah, remember, he won the race back here in April. And really, Roush Fenway has won the last 4 Texas races with 3 different drivers.
You know, you can never count him out, though.
I was just standing there thinking that exactly. Yeah, we might talk about it right now, but won't be too much longer. We'll talk about what kind of comeback they made tonight.
Still a long way to go in this one. The battle for 12th, Justin Allgaier in front of Danica Patrick. Let's get an update on the number 7 car from Dave Burns.
Loose race car, Marty, at the start of this race, so they made some adjustments for that. Interesting thing about Danica's run so far is this line right here, the low line. She was trying a couple of different times, but claimed there was no grip down there. She has fresh tires right now. She also tried the high line, and at one time it was just too loose up there. So she's really fishing around to see what works best for her tonight in Texas.
Well, she's not hacksaw on the wheel as much as we saw her earlier. See the speeds reaching up to 180 going into turn 3. Boy, look at Allgaier up in front. He's loose.
Yeah, not quite as bad loose as he was in qualifying, but he still doesn't have it hung out a little bit.
You could read the sponsor logo on the quarter panel from the straightaway. I mean, it was wicked loose. All right, let's check in on the 2 of Elliott Sadler and the 88 of Cole Whitt as that battle continues. 4th and 5th on the track. And right now, Elliott's doing all he needs to do for this championship. Right now, he would be 11 points up because he's out in front of the 6 car. And Johanna Long is slowing. She was running in the 21st position on the lead lap.
I don't know if I'm going to make it, guys. I'm in neutral.
Well, it sort of cut out on us.
Yeah, tell him
don't know exactly
with there.
What happened, but another tough break for Johanna. She does make it to pit road, so there'll be no caution.
Shifter handle came off. The shifter handle came off. Really?
You heard him say the shifter handle.
Well, now
off.
we know. I mean, evidently the shift handle fell off, and she's not able to put it back in gear.
I have to go to the garage area and get something in there.
Saw one of the crew members hold up a piece of that shifter.
Now, one thing that happens if that thing falls out, if it comes off, it'll fall down and hit the drive shaft.
So again, a tough break for Johanna. Meanwhile, out on the track, there's your gap between 1st and 2nd. That's what 1.3 seconds looks like. Kyle Busch back to Kevin Harvick. Then Joey Logano, Elliott Sadler, Cole Whitt. That's your top 5.
Logano trying once again to make this pass on Kevin Harvick on the bottom side of the racetrack. Harvick gets a good run off of 2, though.
This time Harvick takes the low line. Joey goes up higher and looks like he's losing more ground.
Yeah, I think it's looking like that middle's not quite as the place to be. You either have to be on the bottom pretty much in that bottom group or way up to the top.
Yeah, the other thing that's happening is it's like stages on these tires. When the tires are new, they can pretty well hang the bottom and run fast laps. And then as this is kind of this middle phase of the run, and you see some of the cars that are better. Kyle Busch definitely better on the first part of it. But right now we're seeing this 22 car, Ryan Blaney's been one of the faster cars in this section of the run.
That's the battle for 7th with his teammate Sam Hornish Jr. Still no firm contract signed by Sam to do anything next year. Blaney takes a peek underneath. Dave, as Blaney is trying to make it work down on the low side. On the right side of your screen, there is Elliott Sadler and Joey Logano going after each other for third.
Looks like an adjustment on this 2 car for Elliott Sadler has possibly made it a little bit better into the run. Maybe not quite as good on the takeoff, but maybe something that lasts longer for him.
Blaney in his first Texas start, making a good run again. As the young man has been impressive in his limited number of appearances this year. It's tucked in right behind the 12 right now, and that's how far back they are from the race leader, Kyle Busch. Kyle's now led the most laps from the start of a Texas race ever. He's led 62.
Hit it hard till the sun goes down. Nobody.
Checking the calendar for you. Remember tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Race number 8 in the Chase Sprint Cup Series from here at Texas Motor Speedway. Our next stop is next Saturday on ESPN at 3:30 Eastern from Phoenix International Raceway. Back here at the O'Reilly Challenge at Texas, you're on board with our race leader. That's right, it's not the 54, it is our first lead change of the night. Kevin Harvick took it during the commercial break. Go back and show you exactly how he got around Kyle.
Yeah, he'd been running this high line, really making it work. A lot of speed off the corner. Kyle Busch saw him coming. Didn't put up much of a fight at this point in time of the race.
Here, this car just a little bit looser this run than it was the first run. They put on scuffs instead of stickers. Harvick took stickers last time, so looks like it's working pretty good for Harvick.
And Vince Welch was the one who told us about Harvick taking the sticker tires versus the scuffs for most of the others, and it looks like it has paid big dividends as he has now opened up a 1.3-second lead over Kyle Busch. Elliott Sadler is in third, Joey Logano at fourth, and Cole Witt is fifth. Let's go up to speed with Nationwide Insurance, and checking in with Kevin Harvick, that would be Vince Welch's territory.
Yeah, Marty, I talked to Kevin before the race, and he was really optimistic about the kind of car they were going to have tonight. They started the race off extremely tight, but it has gotten better and better. They didn't make any changes during that first pit stop. Crew Chief Ernie Cope worked the April race with Paul Menard as his driver, and if you'll recall, Menard earned the pole, led 100 laps, ended up with a good, strong finish, finished second. So Cope knows his hand around here as well, and he's got a pretty darn good driver in Kevin Harvick, who's won here 4 times as well. Now, also, as Andy mentioned, the 54 of Kyle Busch took scuffs on that first pit stop, and he immediately reported that the car was much more free this run, and he would like to have it tightened up on his next pit stop. But still, pretty good run so far for Kyle. Jamie?
And behind him, Elliott Sadler, DJ commented that the car seems to be better since that last stop. As he goes around, he closes on the 54. Oh, that was close. As he goes by Kyle Busch for the first time in this race, all they did on that stop was make an air pressure adjustment to help the overall grip for Elliott. And as you can see, it's working, Doc.
Indeed it is, and behind them now, Cole Witt has made the pass on Joey Logano to take the 4th spot away. The 21-year-old driver continuing to be impressive here in the final events of the year. They made an air pressure adjustment on the inner line of the tire, inside a tire, and of course they put on 4 sticker tires, and now the car is stabilized. No longer loose off, no longer that tight in the middle. He is motoring toward the top 3. Let's check in with Jamie.
When Joey Logano comes to Texas, this team just doesn't expect to run as well as they do on a mile-and-a-half track as the 22 goes around him. And here comes Sam Hornish Jr. Great racing action right now. But Joey struggled in practice. They said they just learned a lot of things that didn't work. But so far, it's the best it's been, Marty, as you see this action.
And boy, I'll tell you what, it is fast and furious right now, as there's Ryan Blaney, his teammate Sam Hornish Jr., and Joey Logano, as that is 5th, 6th, and 7th. Then Denny Hamlin is in 8th, Danica Patrick running 9th, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is running 10th. So the way they're running right now between the points leader Elliott Sadler and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., it's a 14-point gap.
I heard how Harvick's car was tight that first run. They didn't make any changes at all. And now you can see how good he is out there leading the race. I think what's happening is this track is getting looser and looser. And I believe Ernie Cope knew that. I think he knew that's what was going to happen. He had the car tight, like you said, what he had learned before. And Kyle's car was obviously really good to start the race, and now he's loose.
Yeah, we talk a lot of times, as you can see there, Ricky Stenhouse losing another spot. But a lot of times we talk about the track gaining more grip, and a lot of times it means the front will grip a little bit better. And when you get that, then your car becomes looser because the front is gripping and turning. And so you'll have to make adjustments to that. Ernie Koch, one of the best in knowing these racetracks and what to expect.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has his hands full as Kenny Wallace in that 99 is closing on him. As you see now, the race leader, Kevin Harvick, his lead is 2.2 seconds. We'll also update you, give you a verbal update on Austin Dillon. Remember, he restarted 26th. He has regained 10 of those positions. He's back to 16th. There he is. He's still got a long way to go. He was forced to pit early when he felt a tire going down. Let's get more from Vince.
Yeah, he was unbelievably loose. Said he could not handle the race car or hold on to it. It was a wild ride, and they did think that the right front was going down, but I spoke with their tire crew. They said, no, the tire was up, but it was just handling so poorly. He felt like the tire was going down. They tightened him up, got him fixed up, but he lost all that track position because he pitted under green.
Total of 25 cars still on the lead lap. 8 cars are either behind the wall or out of this race as you continue to ride along with Austin Dillon. But the man that we better start showing some concern for is right there, the 6 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He is 11th right now and under attack from the 99 of Kenny Wallace. Let's go back and show you what happened to him a few laps ago.
Well, we know that he always likes to drive it a little bit hung out, but that's a little more than what you can do and make any time.
From the onboard,
he's busy inside this car.
It's a good run here.
And this is, like you said, you just can't carry speed in cars like this. The track is getting looser and looser. They're going to have to adjust on this car.
He's now 16 back as, 15 on the board right there. But look at Kenny Wallace as he comes by. Kenny Wallace has gotten around him, so that'll put him 16 points behind as he drops another position. Let's get an update on the 6. How about it, Vince?
Well, Dave Burns documented in pre-race all the issues that they'd had during practice from a mechanical nature, and even ran into Joe Nemechek on pit road during practice. They thought they had all that taken care of, but the car's really been a handful for Ricky here in the early going. He says it's getting more loose every single lap. On a 1 to 10 scale, it is 6 loose and getting worse, and we're seeing that as he continues to fall back. Now almost 14 seconds behind the leader.
And here comes Michael Annett passing him for another position. So put Stenhouse back to 13th and drop him like a rock.
Well, he has his hands full there. I mean, it's going to be a miracle if he can get through this without actually wrecking this race car.
Yeah, it looks like he's got such a handful. He's probably having a hard time talking to his crew about the car.
You're just going to hang in here with us. We got a lot of time. We're going to get you fixed up. We'll be back in business. Just hang tough here.
Mike Kelly on the right. Obviously concerned. The one good thing, boy, look at him. He's still loose coming through.
That thing's almost loose on the straightaway.
Yeah, good point. We're still less than halfway through this race. So they're going to get a chance to fix this thing if he can just get that far.
Yeah, he's just having to slow down so much in the corner. We can hear from his onboard camera. He can't get in the throttle when he's down in the center of the corner. You can watch just how much he's turning back right. He doesn't turn much left, so you know that he's not having to put much wheel in it. Now he's moving the wheel a lot. But see how much he's turning back to the right already to correct this. You can see he's just not able to get wide open in the throttle and make time.
Physically, how hard is it?
Oh, that's tough. You got a hard grip on the steering wheel. You like to kind of keep that grip light to where you can feel the car and what everything's going. But at this point in time, when you're doing this, you have a strong grip on the steering wheel.
And then mentally, because you know you're losing points.
Yeah, it's tough. It's the kind of things that you have to fight through as a driver. It's not always going to be perfect. And this is what champions are made of. You see, whenever you're in situations like this, the one that comes out on the other end, and we've seen him many times be in this situation, make an adjustment and be back up front.
Checking in farther forward in the field, Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch. They're duking it out for 4th on the racetrack. And young Mr. Blaney, the 18-year-old, is holding off the wily old veteran.
I tell you what, Ryan Blaney, very, very impressive on a racetrack that he hasn't been on before here. Doing a great job. In this 22 cars, we have caution now.
Caution's out.
Yellow's out.
And it's report the 81 of Jason Bowles, who has a birthday coming up. He's going to turn 30, but I don't think it's going to be a very happy birthday because the word is he got into the wall. Beautiful paint job. And there is the damage on the right side. He was running 30th.
He had some kind of problem going up there. Didn't hit it hard, but definitely something's not right.
Justin Allgaier's view.
Right here, right here. Oh.
Yeah, that's what we said too. A huge opportunity, big break for the 6 car. This caution coming out, he desperately needed this one.
Well, he needed it, and it's a break also for Austin Dillon, who had worked
Right
his
there,
way
look at
back.
that.
You can see what the problem was there.
Look at there.
See, that tire's just worn completely out.
It's the first time we've seen that tonight. Oh, there it is when he's coming in on pit road. He had locked it up.
Car up, get it up, get it up, get it up, get it up.
It's easy for the crew chief to say.
Yeah.
Still got to get it up.
I was mentioning about Austin Dillon there, but a big break. He was going to be not too far away from having to make a green flag pit stop because he was off sequence and taking that wave around. So this is a big break for him to adjust on this race car and get back up with the leaders.
Dillon shown right now in the 16th position. David Starr from Houston, Texas will get the free pass into number 24.
Yeah, this will be an opportunity for the pit crews now to see what they can do, especially for like Austin Dillon. See if he can make up some spots. He's 16th coming in. See if they can make up some spots.
I think Ricky Stenhouse is the guy that's breathing the biggest sigh of relief on this.
Well, he will if they can get it fixed.
Kevin Harvick, race leader, leads him down, followed by all the lead lap cars. And here we go with our 3rd caution. Dave Burns, you're up.
19th to 5th and just over 80 laps for young Ryan Blaney. He'll need 4 fresh tires and a couple of cans of Sunoco fuel. His car was a little bit tight in the center, but mainly loose off. Doc?
Cole Witt up to 3rd spots, and the car over-rotating somewhat in the corner, half around the track bar. Going to top it off 4 tires, top it off with Sunoco fuel. Jamie.
Elliott Sadler just wants more grip, 4 sticker tires. They'll fill it up with Sunoco fuel, and he wants to win this race off pit road, Vince.
Kevin Harvick likes his car, says it comes in real nice, so no changes, just 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for Harvick. He'll easily be the first one off pit road.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Look at this logjam behind him, though, as Kyle Busch picks up 3. Elliott Sadler and Cole Witt drop 1 apiece. And you're saying, what happened to Sam Hornish? He came in 6th. Well, he missed his pit box, and you can see him there finally coming out. He'll be deep in this field. Stay with us. That is Mark Hollywood Armstrong's camera that mounted on his helmet, looking at Jason Bowles' car as their problems went from bad to worse as flames erupted. They had to pull the fire bottles, and not the way he wanted to celebrate his birthday. Let's go back and show you how it all started.
Something on fire there. Looks like it may be a, I don't know if it's an oil line, fuel line, possibly.
Could it have been any of the debris, the tire debris? That from the
it could have been, as it's hard to tell from that shot. That's what happened to them. They had a right front tire go down.
All right, while we've got a moment under this 3rd caution, let's check in with Vince for an update on the 6.
Well, we talked about how Ricky Stenhouse dropped some spots there prior to that yellow flag, and the fact that his race car was so loose, he described it as a 6 on a 10 scale and getting worse. They made a track bar adjustment, also put the spring rubber back in the left rear that they had taken out on the first stop. So Mike Kelly making some big changes, hoping that he gives his driver, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., something to work with here in this next run. Jamie?
Well, unfortunately, we're back here in the garage with Johanna Long, whose night is over. We saw the shifter handle come out. It broke off, but your problems actually started yesterday.
Yeah, these guys at Motorsports, they work extremely hard. We had to change a motor yesterday because it popped out of gear, and same incident here today. We went into the corner, it just popped out of gear, and I looked down and the whole shifter handle was off. So it's just an unfortunate deal. We work extremely hard, and we've had some good runs this past couple of races. So it stinks. The year's almost over, and we just got to get our momentum back for Homestead.
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks back at Homestead, Marty.
All right, thanks, Jamie. And remember, we told you Sam Hornish Jr. had a lot of problems during his pit stop, finding the pit stall, and it cost him quite a number of positions. Let's go back and show you exactly what happened to him. Keep an eye on the 12.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened. He just really overshot, and then he tried to back up, and he was just, what happened is his right front was out of the box. So he has to back up some more and then reposition. This cost him a ton of time.
Came in 6th. Will go out and restart 21st. Here's the 12 radio.
Need to be a little bit more proactive. I mean, by the time I realized that where we were even at, it was way too late.
Now, for folks who can't understand how you can get confused on where your pit box is, what's it like for the driver coming in?
Well, you shouldn't be confused. That's part of your job as a driver, is to know exactly where your pit box is, who's around you. And it was his teammate that he had to go around. He knew that he was only 2 pit stalls away from there. So just a mistake on the driver's point. A lot of them like to use the crew chief, counting them down in there, but it's your responsibility as a driver to know where that is.
There you see as we point the top 4 rows. Danica Patrick still running in the top 10. Green flag is out. Kevin Harvick, as the race leader, has the inside. Here we go. Well, that's the first time tonight Kyle Busch has not shot to the lead.
Yeah, Elliott Sadler was really hoping he was going to hear his spotter say clear in front of Kyle Busch. Now he's having to fall back behind him, and here comes Kyle on the outside.
And all of a sudden, just as we mentioned, Kyle's tires come to life.
I think Kyle's got by far the best car on new tires. And if the race comes down to a short run, green flag run at the end, I believe he'll be the man to beat.
So you're saying
long runs are his weakness.
His throttle didn't. Whoa, he's got a problem right there.
Maybe it did stick.
I really was going to kind of joke that it looked like his throttle literally stuck, but he's got some kind of issue.
Well, I saw the car spark, but we've seen that happen on the full fuel load. And we got almost 4 wide there. Kyle's gathered it back up. He's in front of Cole Witt there in the 88. There's the top 2 going after each other. The RCR teammates, Kevin Harvick in the 33. And Elliott Sadler.
Elliott Sadler would love to lead a lap and get a bonus point.
As they run right now, it is 16 points. All right, let's go back and we'll see the sparks, and I'm not sure here.
Well, I know Kyle on these restarts, he'll run that thing just about wide open for the first lap or so, and I'm not sure if he didn't just hit bottom out really hard on these new tires and just had to get out of the throttle.
Could it be the pressures weren't quite up?
Well, the pressures aren't up. I mean, that's for sure.
And then the roughness of the track destabilized the car?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, definitely you can see it bottom out and the car took off.
Well, he has gathered it back up. You see he's drawing close to the number 2 of Elliott Sadler. Vince, what are you hearing?
Yeah, you know, one of the issues that they've had on that 54 tonight, the fact that the side skirts are hitting, and they made some pretty significant chassis adjustments on that last pit stop to try to help Kyle with that issue. So that's something to keep an eye out if they can get that taken care of. But that's been the real problem for him so far tonight, although you see how well he's running, putting that move now underneath Elliott Sadler, trying to get underneath for that second spot.
And he has it.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. The air pressure you talk about up in that second groove. All these drivers told me that this racetrack, where it used to be the roughest on the bottom, you feel it more the second groove and up. And Kyle trying to make that pass up there, really hustling the car, driving it off in there. I think that's the issue that they're going to have, trying to do that on low air pressure.
9th, 10th, and 11th in your screen. That's Denny Hamlin leading Brian Scott and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse looks like the car is running better for him now.
Well, I'd hope so, from what he had. And whenever they said he was reporting a 6 loose, I thought maybe that was on a scale of 5. When he said a 10, I thought, man, this guy's even better than I was giving him credit for.
Well, he has picked up 4 spots since the restart. And now is looking to take that spot away from Brian Scott and move into the 9th position.
There's Austin Dillon back in the mix there, making a pass on Denny Hamlin. Sam Horn is trying to make his way back forward.
Whoa, and saw the 12 get loose. The 31 of Allgaier is going to go underneath him. The 18 of Denny Hamlin's going the wrong direction. He has fallen back several spots now.
I see Kevin Swindell in that 98 car in this same group. Doing a good job.
Swindell won the Chili Bowl the last 3 years. His dad, Sammy, won the World of Outlaws last night at Charlotte. He's trying to get underneath that 43 of Michael Annett, and looks like he may just do it. Oh, did you see the slide Tommy foot on there? I know where he learned it. Here comes Michael Annette right back on him. And look at Denny Hamlin. Man, that car is a handful for him in that 18.
Yeah, you have to wonder if that might be a possibility they put scuffs on that car, because we saw that not work on a few other cars. If you made some qualifying attempts yesterday, or mock qualifying attempts, you might have used up a set or two. And I don't know if that's Denny's situation right now, but it's not to his liking.
On board right there with Denny Hamlin, who's in 14th position right now. It's Kenny Wallace in the 99.
Yeah, beautiful Toyota paint scheme on that 99.
It was mentioned earlier, they are battling with this 18 car for the Owners' Championship with the 2 right now. Elliott Sadler, that group has closed it down to a 7-point deficit.
It looked like the 98 of Swindell and the 99 touched.
Came close if they didn't.
Kevin gets a little loose, gets out of it. That's enough for Hamlin to get back underneath him. That's Brad Sweet in the 38 behind them. Let's get more on that 18 car, Dave Burns.
Marty, you haven't said anything on this run. I'm listening real close. The car has not been, as you said, it was lucky as Swindell moves back to the inside. It was loose in, tight middle, loose off the last time. And he said when it went over the bumps, it bottoms out and it plows. So he's been struggling with it a little. Even when it was running well, he said it's okay, but I can't run with those guys being the leader. So maybe a long night here for Denny.
And here goes Jeremy Clements around him in the 51. And Brad Sweet in the 38 is on the high side as well. Checking in now with the 2 Junior Motorsports teammates. You got Cole Witt and Danica Patrick. They're running 5th and 6th.
Yeah, it's outstanding night for these 2 drivers right here in this race team. What a difference. They've made a big turnaround with speed and these drivers being able to really attack the racetrack. Nice to see.
See Danica's car really good through the center of the corner.
Well, it makes a big run up off the corner. You can see she goes up just a little bit and got back in the gas really early and hard, trying to make this pass for getting the top 5.
Crew Chief Ryan Pemberton been working hard since he came on with the communication between the 2, and both of you know how important that is she goes around, picks up the spot.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing I'm seeing her do more and more. She's making good passes on the racetrack, and that's a quality pass right there for the top 5 spot.
Exactly.
You know, we mentioned since Ryan came on, give you an idea just how well the 7 has performed. The first 26 races, 6 DNFs, an average finish of 20 plus. The last 4, 12.8 and 0 DNFs. Dave Burns.
Marty, Ryan Pemberton cites working with that 88 car as a big step in the right direction. Danica saying that they have really helped her race car tonight. Listen.
Yeah, you did a nice job with the changes. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect because obviously I had two big problems and they were both different. That was good.
Good stuff, and she didn't just find her way to the top 5 here. She drove her way up there, guys.
And right now, she had the 2nd fastest car that last lap at a 31.09. Only our race leader, Kevin Harvick, at 31.04 was faster. Speaking of Harvick, he led at the halfway mark at Texas twice. Guess what? He won both those races. Danica Patrick's trying to chase him down.
Back out Texas Motor Speedway with 92 laps to go in this NASCAR Nationwide Series race. And as this NASCAR season comes to a close, our Hannah Storm sits down with some of the biggest names in this sport. Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, and Brad Keselowski reflect on the season and look ahead to the final races in the chase for the Cup. It's a Sports Center special, NASCAR face-to-face with Hannah Storm, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN. Coming into this weekend in this race, guys, the drivers were talking about how bumpy, how rough this track has gotten, and turn 2 tonight has definitely been a trouble spot.
Oh, yeah, turn 2 is a real trouble spot. You see Kyle Busch bottoming out here a couple times, finally slides up the racetrack, loses a lot of momentum. See him here again, see this car is jumping up and down, see Elliott Sadler getting loose. The bumps here at Texas in 1 and 2 have got much, much worse.
Yeah, they really have. Sam Hornish gets in there, gets a little bit loose. 2 cars go by. We've seen a lot of guys get over top of those bumps. It's like they lose traction just temporarily, and the car just skates away from them. They hit the cross member, whatever, and they lose a little control.
Marty, Andy, and DJ were just talking about Danica Patrick, who's running in 5th behind Kevin Harvick. We talked earlier in the show, in Countdown, about how her results have improved coached and she's taken on a new crew chief. What are we seeing out of her tonight?
Well, again, we talked about it in Countdown. It's not just the crew chief. It's a new philosophy over there. I think they're using more engineering tools, sharing some of that information with Hendrick Motorsports, who's kind of the parent company, supplies the motors for these cars. But what a huge difference in that 7 and 88.
Give Ryan Berenson a huge pat on the back. This car, this 7 car, is running outstanding. 88 as well. But I'll tell you what, Danica Patrick has consistently been one of the top 3 fastest cars on the racetrack the past 65, 70 laps. She could put herself in position to have a top 2 finish tonight, I do believe.
She's a surprise of the night for good reasons. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. may be a surprise for not so good reasons. Coming into this race, we said this is a track that's good for him. 5 of his 6 wins this season have been on 1.5 mile tracks. But look at him, Rusty. He's in 10th and struggling.
Yeah, he's really got to get his act together, Nicole, because he's just not running near as fast as he needs to gain some points on Elliott Sadler and try to take over the point lead when this is all said and done. I really thought he would be bullet fast tonight and just running that top lane, just flying around this racetrack. But Ray, it looks like he's loose. He's all over the place. He's running the bottom of the track. He's just not getting it done like I thought he would.
No, Rusty, and I think what they need here, even though they're low on tires, is they need another caution or 2 to work on this car. We've seen them be able to get that thing, and then all of a sudden it gets wicked fast. The other thing that I'm looking at is I really feel that in the last 50 laps of this race, there's going to be more rubber down the track. The temperature's even going to cool off more. They just need another couple shots to adjust on that thing.
Solid battle for second right now, Marty.
All right, thank you, Nicole. As you see, the 54 and the 20 still going after each other. Kyle Busch in second place. Joey wants it.
Logano has been one of these drivers that's been able to make that kind of middle groove work a little bit more and make a pass there. He just passed the 2 car of Elliott Sadler, because Sadler was using that higher groove. But Logano making that work, finding some grip right there.
Going around the lap traffic of Danny Eflin in the number 4. Right now, these 2 are chasing Kevin Harvick, and we'll pull back to give you an idea. That is what 1.5 seconds looks like on the racetrack, because Kevin Harvick has now led 49 laps. Kyle Busch has led 64. Elliott Sadler, our 3rd different leader, he has led 1 lap, picked up that all-important bonus point. But there's Kevin Harvick looking for win number 5 at Texas. Beautiful night here at the O'Reilly Challenge at Texas Motor Speedway. 81 laps to go. And only this race and 2 more before we crown a champion. Kevin Harvick, the race leader right now by 1.9 seconds over Joey Logano. We're going to do something a little different for you. We're going to do an up to speed with our drivers listening in on their radios.
Whatever you did those last 2 laps, Kevin, you picked up a 10th and a half. I went back to full speed because I was saving your gas. 10-4. I'll make sure it's all good.
So Kevin saving some fuel and now back with the hammer down. Joey Logano running in 2nd, Kyle Busch 3rd, Elliott Sadler's running in 4th. Let's listen in.
My car ain't nothing like it was. Maybe it'll come to me, but set of tires ain't nothing like what I had.
Right behind Elliott in 5th is the number 7 of Danica Patrick. And let's listen in on hers.
Feels really freaking good to see all the leaders.
Ford, go get them.
And by that, I'm sure she means out the front windshield and not in the mirror. All right, let's move down. Sam Hornish Jr. is in 6th. Ryan Blaney 7th. Brian Scott 8th. Cole Witt 9th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 10th.
We act like we have no idea what we're doing here.
What we do have is time, and we got plenty of time here. Just see what you're doing. They'll be coming out back. We'll get her fixed up.
I can't tell you made an adjustment. You didn't fix anything.
10-4, bud.
Well, he is running in the top 10, and he wasn't even close to the top 10 with the way that car was backing up before that last round of stops. And so there's your top 10 running order right now. Checking the points, and you can see that if it finishes this way, Ricky will lose some ground. He'd be 13 back, and Austin Dillon would be 35 back, as Austin is running in the 12th position.
Yeah, he's getting a little help from the Cup drivers that are running 1, 2, 3 that are taking points away from Elliott Sadler, or he would actually be a little further back.
And that's one of the things we talked about at the beginning of the race and what kind of influence those 11 Cup guys could have on this race. All right, let's get an update on the 6. Vince, what are they planning down there?
Well, you heard Ricky Stenhouse talking with his spotter, Mike Kalanoff, and then crew chief Mike Kelly chimed in there at the end. Ricky said their adjustments did not do any good at all, but I beg to differ because remember he said that he was a 6 loose on a 10 scale. Now he says he's a 5 loose on a 10 scale, so they're getting a little bit better, but certainly not as good as he'd like.
Yeah, that's the right direction, and they are a little bit better. It's still not where they're used to running, and I'm sure that's frustrating for Ricky. But that was good information that spotter gave me. He said, we've got time, still early, we can get this fixed. If you'll remember back just a couple of weeks ago, they made a lot out of a little.
They made a ton out of a little at Kansas. 2 laps down to come back to win the race. Right now, he's closing on Cole Witt. Witt in that 9th spot, so this is for position.
Really makes it tough trying to make a pass when you have a loose race car like this, especially on that inside. He's probably hoping he'll get a little bit of assistance from Cole Witt there. Won't bother him too much. Looks like he's going to roll around and take this spot.
And Ricky does complete the pass, so move him up 1 position. He's up to 9th.
Here's a car on the move.
Yeah, Danica Patrick, and she's got mirrors full of Sam Hornish Jr. Sam fastest that last lap.
He's been the top 3 fastest for about 15 laps here. He's made up 16 spots since that he missed his pit on pit road during that last caution. So apparently got him fired up a little bit in the driver's seat.
Well, one thing I've always seen with drivers, they make a mistake like that, they have to go out there and try to make it back up. I think Sam's doing a good job of that right now.
And you can see how the spots that he has picked up. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 2nd on the list. Brad Sweet 3rd. And here he comes underneath, but lap traffic, and Danica's going to try and pin him. And they're going to split the difference, and I think Sam's going to be able to get around her. Of course, these two raced in the IndyCar series together. And the 12 car, Doc.
Absolutely, Marty, and you guys are right on. You know, he came in 6th, made a mistake on pit road, overshooting the pits, went out and restarted 21st. It took him 31 laps to get back to 6th. You know what he said on the radio to his crew chief on the left there during that time? Absolutely nothing. He knew he made a mistake. He knew his only way to make it up to those team was to drive the race car and keep his mouth shut, which is exactly what he has done. Now he is 5th, which is the highest he has been all day. And actually, as DJ said, turning laps quicker than the leader.
And Sam, next week, will be going to the track where he won last on the Nationwide Tour.
He won 3 times here in an IndyCar. I'm not surprised to see him run this well. This is one of his favorite tracks.
So there is Sam Hornish Jr. as we've got 71 laps to go. That's how far he has to go to catch up to Kevin Harvick. Harvick's lead over Joey Logano, 1.6 seconds.
NASCAR Nationwide Series at Texas is brought to you by Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. It's not just racing, it's racing transformed. Rated E to E10.
And you're looking at the circus outside the backstretch. We're not having any circus inside the 88. Doc, what's going on?
Car and wedge adjustment. Cole Witt said the car was just wrecking loose. He was hanging on about the loops. They had to come in about 8 laps earlier than they want to be. They can't make it now on fuel, but they had to come in and get tires and make a track bar change.
But teammate Danica Patrick also had to make a pit stop during the commercial break. We'll update you on that as she was reporting a right front tire going down. We've run 42 green flag laps right now. Kevin Harvick is still your race leader by 1.5 seconds over Joey Logano.
Yeah, Kevin's not having any problems with his race car for sure. But I think he's been able to save his car and his tires a lot by running this high line quite a bit.
All right, Dave, give us an update on Danica Patrick's situation.
Marty, she had been running in the 6th position but was falling back because she said her car was getting tight, and then she had to come down pit road about 8 laps earlier than Ryan Pemberton wanted her to because the right front was, she could feel that there was a problem with it. When they took it off, the team could see that it was severely damaged. It's a high wear situation, Goodyear's telling me. Same kind of thing was happening to Ryan Newman, but basically the right front starting to come apart, and there it is.
And that's not a good thing to have.
No, it's not. This is the longest green flag run we've had. Danica was able to get to pit road before the tire blew out. caused a bunch of debris to get on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's a nice job by her of picking that up because it was only maybe less than a lap before that tire was going to explode.
So right now we have a total of 14 cars on the lead lap. Danica is 1 lap down right now in 18th position. But remember, everybody else is going to have to cycle through on stops right.
Yeah, and if a lot of guys, I think, could stretch this to make one more stop. It's just going to be whether the tire will make it that far.
The 18 is in, Dave.
Way too loose, in and off for Denny Hamlin. They'll make a chassis adjustment, 4 tires, get him full of Sunoco fuel again. This was a run that sent Denny in the wrong direction. They'll see if they can recover sometime before the race is over.
Remember that 18 car is in the battle for the Owners' Championship, or like I like to call it, the Team Championship, because that's what the crew gets all the credit for. And right now the difference is like 6 points between that and the 2 car of Elliott Sadler. Kevin Harvick still running that high line, making it work for him, although Joey Logano has closed and is closing even quicker. There is the 20 coming into view.
Well, no surprise here, the way that Joey Logano's performed in this series this year with his 8 victories.
60 laps to go, Jamie Little.
Well, there was communications with Joey Logano, Adam Stevens, his crew chief, telling him, okay, we need to get in this window 8 more laps out of you. And Joey said, okay, I'm going to run the low line so I can get out of the gas more often. So you see him running lower than he has been. So they're trying to fit in that window. And they said, if it starts sputtering, bring it to us. Think they really had to tell the driver that?
You thinking Kevin might be trying to save some fuel here too?
Yeah, Kevin's really good. We heard him talking earlier about that he had been saving some fuel, so I don't think there's any doubt he's probably doing that right now.
So going back to your strategy, trying to squeeze it.
If they can just make it about 3-4 more laps and get in here under green, they should be able to make it to the end on that stop. Say, we're just watching a lot of cars pitting for tires. Most of them are, the ones that pitted early.
Well, to give you an idea, Danica Patrick's last lap with those fresher tires, 31.2. Kevin Harvick is the race leader, and Joey Logano both 31.9, 7/10 difference. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has come on to pit road. Vince?
Well, Stenhouse came into this race just 6 points behind leader Elliott Sadler in the championship battle, but Stenhouse has had his hands full today with a loose race car, 4-tire change, wrench goes in the back window, make a chassis adjustment, an air pressure adjustment as well, filling it up full of Sunoco fuel so they can make it on one more stop. Now the 54 of Kyle Busch, he was so fast at the beginning of this race, but since then he's tailed off a bit. Says right now he needs help mostly on entry for both ends, but he's pretty good through the turns. They're going to put a round in the left rear, some air pressure in the right rear, 4-tire change for the 54 of Kyle Busch. Jamie?
For Joey Logano, they wanted him to stay out 1 more lap, but he thought he was just on the verge of running out. So the 20 is in. Said he's much better this run. He took care of his tires, just a little bit tight, Vince.
The 33 of Kevin Harvick, he's been the class of the field so far tonight. No changes for Harvick, just putting on 4 fresh tires. Says the car was turning a little bit better to the center that last run. He's good on fuel to the end. Jamie?
And Elliott Sadler said that the tires just didn't have the same grip on that last run. They put sticker tires on once again. They haven't tried that experiment with scuffs yet for Sadler.
Sam Hornish Jr. also coming out right behind Elliott Sadler. So these green flag pit stops, everybody's going to be cycling through. And it looks like Austin Dillon, if he stays out, may just get credited for leading this lap.
Looks like he will do that even from pit road.
Yep, he does cross the line, so he will get credit. Vince?
For Austin Dillon, they believe they still had a chance to win this championship, but they said we need to win all 3 races. Hasn't gone their way so far tonight. You see the wrench in the right rear, chassis adjustment there, still tight in and way too loose for his liking off the turns. 4 tires, chassis adjustment, Sunoco fuel, all for Austin Dillon. Still waiting on that fuel and now down and away.
Yeah, 19-second stop and 3 turns.
Well, a little bit of that was the jackman. He was getting that, pulling that tearaway off the windshield, and he didn't have the car completely jacked up on the left. Looks like the left rear tire would not come off, so that may have cost us some time.
All right, so now that all these green flag pit stops have occurred, there's your race leader, Kevin Harvick. And the man that's running second right behind him is Joey Logano right there. In third place will be Kyle Busch, but Kyle is a full 4 seconds behind these two guys. And in fourth place is Danica Patrick. Remember, she had to come in even earlier than the others in front of her.
Yeah, and that's why she's up there. She was able to gain a lot of time on these leaders while they were out there on older tires after she made her pit stop. I mean, she was forced to do it, but it did pay off for her right now.
Yeah, her problem is going to be is she's going to have to make another pit stop. These others may be able to make it the rest of the way.
And right behind her, but actually about 4.5 seconds behind, I should say, is Elliott Sadler. He is running fifth. Sam Hornish Jr. is sixth. Cole Witt is seventh. Then Ryan Newman has worked his way up to eighth. Brian Scott and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. That is your top 10, as we have now got 53 laps to go here at Texas. 3/4 of the race is complete here at Texas Motor Speedway. Just 49 laps to go here tonight under the lights. On the motorsports calendar, just 2 items. Tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN, race number 8 in the chase for the Sprint Cup Series. And then next week at Phoenix, Saturday on ESPN at 3:30 Eastern, it is the Nationwide Series. Who is going to be the points leader as we head to Phoenix? Well, that is still up for grabs, but right now it's looking like it could be Elliott Sadler. Notice race leader Kevin Harvick. The car right in front of him is Austin Dillon. Remember that 19-second pit stop? Dillon in danger of going a lap down.
He was already in trouble. He had lost a lot of ground, and then when that pit stop cost him even more. So he's going to have to fight to stay on the lead lap.
Well, and I'm looking at these lap times, guys, and with fresh tires, there's Joey Logano, lap traffic in between he and the race leader. It seems like both these cars are trying to save some fuel just to get this done, like you were talking about in this last stop.
Yeah, they split it up. He had to save a little fuel the last run, and he's going to have to save a little more here. The key, though, is going to be, does the caution come out for somebody else wearing out a right front tire? We've seen that be a little bit of an issue, and this is going to be one of the longest runs. It'll probably be the longest green flag run we've had tonight if we go to the end.
Yeah, and I believe Logano's saving a little bit of fuel, too. We heard him say that he actually came in a lap sooner than what they were really wanting him to, so now he's having to save them a little bit on the racetrack.
Kenny Walls in that 99 is the first car 1 lap down. That just happened to him. He is running in 16th spot, and Austin Dillon, we can take it. Whoa, we got a spinner on the track. The 52 is going around, trying to keep it off the wall. Joey Gase is going to bring out the caution.
Keep her running if you can.
So the good news for Austin Dillon is that he will be the lucky dog recipient. Gase was running
Just flat tires, Jimmy.
Go back and show you what happened. Keep an eye on the 52.
Yeah, just classic getting loose down on the inside of a car aerodynamically. You don't get as much air on the spoiler and right rear quarter panel that helps you there, and you gets out from under you. Did a nice job of saving this car, though, even though he did end up spinning, didn't hit anything.
It's like John Blankenship in that 44. Didn't give him a lot of room.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Crew chief, you got 45 laps to go. What are you going to do?
Well, you definitely want to get at least right side tires here. This will be a chance. If you've got about 9 or 10 laps, some of the leaders, there's different cycles here too. Big break for Danica Patrick because now she can make it to the end.
You couldn't get those tires, you're going to be out of tires by most of these. It's going to be the 5th set for them. So if somebody would save a set and get another caution, does that make you think any of their crew chief?
Yeah, it does. It does make you think. But if you're the one that stays out there, you might be the caution.
Well, we're about to find out. This is what the crew chiefs get the big money for.
Well, they can make it now on fuel. They don't have to pit. I mean, especially as leaders, this is going to help them a lot on the fuel mileage. I see somebody try to roll the dice to stay out.
33 is coming. So is the 20. So is the 54. Dave Burns, it's yours.
Danica Patrick could not make it on fuel. She could not make it the way the car was. It was way too tight on the balance. So 4 fresh tires, air pressure, and track bar adjustment. Jamie.
Definitely what they wanted for Joey Logano. He was going to be a little short, wanted to adjust on it, said it was better after the changes last time, Vince.
33 of Kevin Harvick. He debated with crew chief Ernie Cope about whether to take tires or stay out. They decided to go for the tires and make everybody come get them. Big changes on the 54 of Kyle Busch with wedge adjustment. 4 tires for him as well. There you see a little slow getting out of the box for the 54 of Kyle Busch. Ryan Newman, the first one off pit road.
Newman picking up 9, but no tires. I'm not sure that strategy is going to work. There's Michael Lynette coming off, and we'll reset this for you and set the scene as we'll see who's going to be able to figure this out and make the right call. Back here at Texas Motor Speedway, 43 laps to go. Our 4th caution flag of the day. The 99 of Kenny Wallace gets the free pass, and that'll give us about 20 cars back on the lead lap. Now, the top 4 stayed out. That's Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Justin Allgaier, and Austin Dillon. So we'll talk to our in-race reporter right now, who's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's going to be in the 14th spot.
Hey, Ricky, Dale Jarrett, you with us?
Yes, sir, I got you, Dale.
All right, sorry to interrupt you getting a little drink there, but looked like you've had your hands full there tonight.
We have. We been really loose with our North Energy Drink Mustang. Hopefully these 4 rounds in the left rear tighten it up. I don't know, we're kind of lost right now, so we'll see how well this does right here and see what we can't go get at the end.
All right, got one to go. Good luck there.
Thank you.
Let's check in on the Fast 5 pit stops.
Yeah, Logano's crew get it done. So is Harvick's. See his 12-second stops. Even Brian Scott's team under 13 seconds.
Danica Patrick did not have a very good pit stop, as she has dropped several positions as a result. And there's her comparison.
Yeah, she was just a little off, their team was, but not a tremendous amount, but cost her 3 spots. She'll have to try to make them up.
12 waiver rounds. 4 of them get back on the lead lap, including the 98 of Swindell, Brad Sweet, Jeremy Clements, and Joe Nemechek. So as we get ready to reset for you here, it'll be Denny Hamlin. Remember, the top 4 stayed out. Hamlin and Blaney in row number 1. Then in row number 2, it's Allgaier and Dillon. Now the fresh tires start a little further back. Now remember, Newman took no tires, and we'll see what happens there. Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano in row 4, and rounding out the top 10, it's Elliott Sadler and Brian Scott side by side. Green flag up. Here we go.
This could get interesting here. No tires up front.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin has been on those tires 19 laps. Everybody else behind him pretty much fresh rubber.
Kevin Harvick all the way to the top of the racetrack here. 4 wide, it looks like, off of 2.
And that's Austin Dillon underneath him there. And the 4 wide continues down the backstretch. Kyle Busch trick ducking down low. Elliott Sadler back in that mix as well, as he's right up against the wall there.
Yeah, it looked like Sadler. He was 4 wide on the top. And here comes Stenhouse now. Actually made a pass on Sadler. And a few more.
He's trying to get underneath the 12. You're on board with Elliott right now. Look at Cole Witt's car bouncing around over those bumps. Here comes Danica Patrick. They're side by side.
Boy, how things have changed with the championship right now. Elliott Sadler was gaining a lot of points, and here comes Stenhouse in front of him now.
Said they put 4 rounds in the left rear. Looks like it helped that 6.
Well, if that won't get it, you're in trouble.
Points right now would be -5, now 6, depending on whether or not Elliott's in front or Ricky's in front.
I think what we saw right there is Elliott Sadler was a little conservative on that restart. Stenhouse was anything but.
Also there was Austin Dillon. There you see him in the 3. Sam Hornish Jr.'s got a good car underneath him tonight. Remember those no tires on the 30? He's sliding back.
It's always a tough situation. No tires and filling it up with fuel. Here's a car on the move, though. Sam Hornish trying to go by Austin Dillon.
Hugging that low line a couple of laps ago. The word is that the 12 and the 6 were leaning on each other a little bit. Here is the battle for the race lead. Denny Hamlin. Here comes Kevin Harvick with that fresh tire.
Yeah, no battle there. Here comes Kyle Busch also.
But Denny hasn't had a good race car all night, so you can't fault him for at least trying it.
Yeah, one thing Denny has left, though, he should have another set of tires left in the pits in case there's another late caution.
Well, let's check in on pit road with Dave Burns and what's the strategy?
And is correct. There's another set of stickers here. They won't have to use them if the race goes at scheduled distance. Matt Lucas, the crew chief, tells me they're right on it as far as fuel goes. If it goes past that, he said, I'm nervous. They have got some of the looseness worked out of the 18, so if Denny saves a little fuel here and tries to hold his spot, that's kind of the strategy for now.
Well, and when he stayed out, he was 11th, and that's about as high as he had gotten throughout this race. And so here he is. He's fallen back to 3rd. So still a net gain.
Hey, Kyle Busch, though, he's working on Harvick right now.
Kyle still looking for that all-elusive first win in his own car. He's come oh so close, including last time out 2 weeks ago at Kansas when he ran out of fuel on the extra green-white checker finish.
Yeah, I think Harvick's going to be hard to beat if this should go green to the end. His car seems to be the better one in the long run. But we've seen a lot of things happen. Here comes Sam Hornish trying to take another spot, too. He's got a fast race car.
That's the battle for 4th right now. And look who's right behind Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Remember when his crew kept telling him there's a lot of time left? Well, the time is now.
Well, they made a big swing at it there. Ricky seemed kind of excited when he talked about those 4 rounds. And I know that he was going to be happy if it did anything to take some of that looseness away.
Tell me the truth. When somebody told you just got 4 rounds, were you feeling good?
Well, you had to feel a lot better, especially when you've been turning right more than left most of the night.
Started -6 in the points chase. By lap 85, Ricky was 18 back, and right now he would be 5 behind Elliott Sadler. And we still have 34 laps to go.
I think the biggest difference in talking about Ricky Stenhouse over the past 3 years, yeah, he's a champion last year. That gives you a lot of confidence. But where that race car was so bad earlier, he would have crashed that car a couple of years ago. Tonight, even though it was upsetting him that he couldn't go forward, he hung on to it and now has got himself in a much better position.
You saw Elliott Sadler trying to close on Justin Allgaier in the 31. And now here's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Remember we mentioned earlier that the 6 and the 12 might have had a little brush up.
Yeah, look at just how aggressive he is on this restart. You see Elliott Sadler had to get out of the gas. Sam Hornish is just, he doesn't know where to go. Hadn't got much room.
Here's what it looked like on the onboard.
Stay with it. That's 4 in the bottom there. 4 wide in the bottom there. Still 4. Still 4 wide. 3 wide now. 3. Stay with it. You have to drive it in. Now we're committed. Stay with it. Still outside.
Some great stuff. There you see what the end result is there's Sam Hornish. And now Ricky Stenhouse Jr. side by side with Joey Logano. So Hornish up to 3rd.
You can see Stenhouse get really loose right there. He may not have this car totally fixed.
No, especially in that type of a situation. Logano made it really difficult on Sam Hornish. Sam really battled and battled and battled, showed just how good his car was right there to be able to make that pass on Logano, but I'm not sure that Stenhouse's car is quite there.
You see Denny Hamlin has dropped back to 6th as he was one of the 4 that stayed out. But Sam Hornish right now has moved into that 3rd spot and is opening up ground on Logano.
Yeah, he did run the fastest. I was watching for that to see how he would run once he got in the clear, and he was faster than Harvick that last lap.
Yeah, his Stenhouse car, his 6 car, is extremely loose once again.
So the feel-good 4 tires aren't feeling so good right now?
Now, that'll mask the problem for a little bit, but it's probably something where they need a spring change or something like that would really make a big difference for him.
Ryan Blaney, Danica Patrick. That is for position on the racetrack. That's for 11th. Kenny Wallace in that mix as well. He is back on the lead lap. He was the recipient of the lucky dog last time. That battle settled down for the moment, so let's go back up front and check in on Kevin Harvick. His lead is 0.7 of a second. Kyle Busch running 2nd. Sam Hornish Jr. 3.7 seconds behind the race lead. Harvick has now led 101 laps tonight. We've had a total of 5 leaders and 9 lead changes. This battle is one of the better ones we have going right now, as Logano trying to hold off Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Vince, what are you hearing on that 6 car?
Well, you heard Ricky say they put 4 rounds in it the last pit stop, so it's definitely better than it was, but he still is fighting a little bit of a loose race car as you see him try to get underneath the 20 of Joey Logano, battling for the championship. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. came into this race knowing he just keep finishing ahead of Elliott Sadler. Keep an eye on where Sadler is at all times, and right now he's ahead of Sadler. Marty.
You see the points differential would be 5 between first and second, 34 back to Austin Dillon. Ricky drives it in hard. Will he be able to close it? Yes, he does. So now it's 4 points separating first and second, because there is Elliott Sadler. He's got his mirrors full of the 43 of Michael Annett, who's got another top 10 run going. Jamie, what are you hearing?
Yes, he does. And Elliott Sadler just frustrated in that seat right now. Each set of tires has felt different for him, as you see the battle on the left-hand side of your screen. Joey Logano holding on. Oh, but Ricky Stenhouse puts gas in it. But Elliott Sadler, he said that this set of tires is the loosest it's been all night. His car just not reacting like it has been earlier on. So frustrated. He said, I don't know what to tell you guys. There's nothing we can do right now. We'll just hang on in 7th.
Thank you, Jamie. Cole Whitten at 88 on the right side, going underneath the 43. That is for position. They're out for 8th, and we got a caution on the racetrack.
Okay, now this is going to bring an interesting situation. You see Nemechek been into the wall.
Right side damage, guys. You guys pull out of the fender here.
We have a couple of teams that have some new tires sitting there in the pits for them.
Joe was running 19th at the time of that ouch.
Yeah, you see Joe had some kind of problem with the right front tire. Car just took off to the wall. Yeah, you're right, Dale. The 3 car for sure. Now, he's back there in 15th spot. He's got a set of tires. I'm sure he's coming.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's going to have tires. That
he's in 6th,
car.
though. And he wasn't really falling that far back.
Yeah, but he's got to come use those tires. That's a huge advantage right now. And I believe more people behind them will pit.
Well, Denny, of the 4 that stayed out, had a 19-lap gap between those that did stop.
And if he does make a pit stop here for 4 tires, he'll likely be the first one off pit road with those tires. It'll be a good spot for him here to try to take it. They're just here to win anyway.
Well, there you see the 33 of Kevin Harvick. The 33 car has clinched the most laps now tonight. It's the 10th time, 7 with Harvick behind the wheel, 3 times with Menard, but only once have they gone on to win the race.
Kind of been another one of those situations here. It always comes down to the end for these guys.
Here comes Hamlin.
Just as we expected, and there's some others following, including Ryan Blaney, Justin Allgaier, and the 3. Dave?
Denny Hamlin gives up 6, brand new set of fresh sticker tires for him. The car was tight. They wouldn't have made it to the end like they thought because they didn't get it full last time. This was very fortuitous for Denny Hamlin, Doc.
31 car, Justin Allgaier coming. He stayed out the last time, being able to get track position, restarted 3rd, but those old tires were just no match for fresh tires up front. 4 tires, air pressure change. Vince.
The 3 car of Austin Dillon still had a set of stickers available, so they're putting those on. They're not taking any fuel, but they took 4 rounds on a track bar adjustment for Austin Dillon.
We have seen some major swings tonight by a lot of crew chiefs.
Yeah, it's a tough racetrack to get a hold of.
Yeah, it's that, and you know, a lot of it goes back to what we talked about early in the show. Was most of their practice was during daylight hours, and the racetrack is totally different now.
And I guarantee you, there's some Cup crew chiefs that are watching this and saying, "Holy smokes, what are we in for tomorrow?"
Well, they're going to have a little different track condition. The track here's cooled off a lot tonight.
And they're racing in the daytime tomorrow. There. Look at the difference, guys.
Yeah, 74 degrees now, track temp. That's a pretty cool racetrack. That makes a big difference in the way the car handles it. It changes the balance so much.
The 10 of Mike Bliss gets the free pass. 20 cars will be on the lead lap when we go back to green flag racing.
Elliot, hang tough here, brother. You can do this.
Man, I'm hanging off all I got. I really am. I just don't understand how we get so far off every time we put on tires.
And you can see he's currently in that 6th position.
Well, one thing is, if you're kind of borderline on that setup, and this track is, like I said, changing pretty quickly, it can feel like you're getting way off, and the track's really just kind of going away from you. I think that's what's happened to this bunch tonight.
Luke Lambert, the man responsible for making the calls. Well, we've got some time under this 5th caution of the night. Let's talk to some of those crew chiefs. Vince?
With Mike Bean, crew chief for Kyle Busch, currently sitting 2nd. Mike, what kind of car do you have here for the stretch run?
I don't know if we got a car that can do it. I know we got the driver can, but just we really started out really well there, and for some reason our cars just got free here as the night went on. We tried to keep up with it with the wedge and air pressure, but just off just a little bit here. But but it seems like it's a short run car, so hopefully these things will cool off and it'll come back and we'll take a shot at it here. So it's just I missed it a little bit today. It's kind of the way I've been all year.
Thanks, Mike. Jamie?
And Luke Lambert, the crew chief for Elliott Sadler. I believe he just said you have 17 laps on these tires. Now that they've had time to cool down, what do you expect here on the restart?
Well, hopefully it's going to play in our hands a little bit. We were a little bit free that last time, so hopefully a heat cycle will help us out with our balance. We'll see where it goes here. I mean, nobody really had a set of tires on the ground right there except for those guys that stayed out that last time, so we'll see how it plays out.
He has what he has, Doc.
Chad Walter up here with Sam Hornish, Sam has driven Chad from the back to the front twice. Now, do you have anything for the 33 and 54?
I really think we do. Sam's really put his hands around the wheel of the Alliance Challenger, and we've had a couple bad pit stops, and unfortunately the track position, we haven't been able to keep it, but we've got a great car. These guys have really worked hard to give Sam a good car, and you never know what's going to happen. We had to stay out there. Some guys came and got tired. Should be a really fun finish to this Texas race.
Okay, Dave Burns.
And Ryan Pemberton talking with Danica right now. You had her car real good at one point, and then it kind of went away. Where's she at right now?
I think it's still okay. So we lost a little bit there, but maybe it's just as much as track position as anything. So she was doing a really good job, and we had a tire come apart at the wrong time that put us a little bit out of cycle with everybody. So we'll see if we can get a good restart here. I think she can still have a good finish.
She's had good restarts so far tonight. We'll see what she can do, Marty.
She's going to restart 10th. Keep your eye on that 12 car. Sam Hornish Jr., DJ, you made the point.
Yeah, he's been fast. This is the first time we've seen him up here with these 2 leaders. See what he can do.
Harvick leads him to the stripe. Here we go. Coming down the backstretch, side by side. Harvick down low, the 54 up high.
Kyle Busch kind of knows this is his opportunity. If he can get in front of Kevin Harvick here, maybe take away that line that he was wanting to run, it would be his chance to steal this race.
Harvick is saying, not just yet.
Well, look at Harvick drive that car through the middle of the corner and get the position on Kyle Busch. That was a good job he did right there.
Hornish still in 3rd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 4th. Elliott Sadler 5th.
Just amazed watching Ricky Stenhouse once again take this car. Whoa, this is going to be close.
Oh. Remember Ryan Blaney in the 22. He's got fresh tires.
So does that 18. You see him trying to make a move now under the 3.
Out of Austin Dillon. He got real loose. The 11 slid up to the wall. The 43's off pace.
I'm not sure that they didn't see that happening in front of them. That's why Austin Dillon got so loose.
Everybody's the wall pretty good.
That sounded like Brian Scott. Here's another look.
See, he just got out of control there.
Really loose. Lynette doing a great job of saving his car, too.
That could have been a real mess. 43 was 9th at the time.
Scott's still up against the wall back there. He's got a lot of problems with that 11.
Yeah. So another tough night. Remember at Kansas, Brian, they tried a different experimental setup, and boy, it just did not work. He spun 3 times before on the 3rd time he finally hit the wall. He's trying to soldier on. There's Denny Hamlin with those fresh tires, and boy, he just lets Cole Witt know, son, you're going to slide up.
You can see these tires really taking effect now.
On board with Joey Logano, who has dropped back to 9th. Logano was looking for his 9th win this year. Now it's back to 11th, I should say.
Yeah, 98 car, Kevin Swindell, he's doing a great job. He's right up in the middle of this. Running 7th. See him racing right now with Denny Hamlin with the fresh tires.
Here comes 2 cars at him with those fresh tires. Austin Dillon in the 3 there. Austin knows he's needing to go right now.
And you heard him have to pedal just a little bit. For Swindell, only his 5th career nationwide start. He's got a good run going. It's going to be bumped back to the 9th position. Here comes Denny Hamlin underneath the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, Sadler just continues to lose spots. Ricky Stenhouse still able to keep his car up there in 4th, making the points championship battle even closer yet.
It's down to 4 right now with that pass. There you see the gaps. Sam Hornish Jr. doing a nice job in that 12 tonight after coming all the way back from 23rd after that disastrous first pit stop. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also getting the help he needed from his pit crew. Finds himself finally in the top 5.
Yeah, you'll have to wonder if Elliott Sadler continues to slide and Stenhouse able to stay up here mentally, how they go to Phoenix after these last 2 races at Kansas and here where it looked like they had the 6 beat the whole race.
Here comes Swindell, so Sadler's in jeopardy of losing another position.
We heard him talk about his car being extremely loose, and man, as fast as this track is and as hard as you have to drive these nationwide cars here, makes it difficult to drive them around here. Comes Ryan Blaney trying to take a spot away from Stenhouse, though. That'll help Sadler.
Blaney on the high side in the 22. Remember, he has the fresher tires. And he makes the pass. Word we're getting on that last lap that the 6 was loose. Take a look.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Ooh, that almost looked like a replay of 2 weeks ago at Kansas.
Now, if he calls that a 6 on a scale of 10, that's something wrong.
Look at Ryan Blaney. Blaney now has gotten around Sam Hornish Jr.
He's on the move with those fresh tires. I don't know if he's got enough time to get to the front.
He might. He's a couple of tenths, quarter of a second quicker than the leaders.
And look at Elliott Sadler. The points leader continues to drop. The 31 of Justin Allgaier gets around. There you see the gap. It's now down to 2.
Allgaier's another one of those cars that came in on that last caution and had a set of tires to put on.
Meanwhile, Stenhouse tries to get underneath the 12, cannot get it done. Remember, Sadler finished 12th here in April. It was his only finish outside the top 10 in the 10-mile-and-a-half tracks that we've run so far this year.
Yeah, well, Stenhouse, he knows there's still more fresh tires behind him. He needs to make this pass on Hornish if he can.
We thought Hornish might have the car to challenge up front, but he's starting to drop back. And now Stenhouse with that pass, it's down to 1.
Yeah, you just got to love this guy, Stenhouse. He almost crashed a while ago trying to make the pass. He comes back right back, same move, just calmed down a little bit, made the pass, made it work. That's another point for him.
Stenhouse running in the 4th position. There you see Elliott Sadler trying to hold on to a top 10. Next time by, it'll be 6 laps remaining here at Texas. Hang on, because here comes Cole Witt. If Cole Witt gets around Sadler, we've got a tie.
Got a battle for second right here, too. Ryan Blaney trying to take it from Kyle Busch.
Oh, the 18-year-old in front of Kyle Busch, and now he's 1.5 seconds away from his first nationwide victory. This will be a career best. His
Yeah,
best.
he was faster than Harvick even making that pass. I don't know if he's got enough time to get to Harvick, but he's coming.
He's going to get close. I tell you, if Harvick encounters any traffic that slows him down at all, Ryan Blaney will be there.
Blaney's career best, 7th at Richmond, and he matched it at Bristol. The 18-year-old has been sensational tonight in his first run in any kind of car here at Texas. Right side of your screen, Sadler doing all he can to hold on to 10th.
Elliott Sadler is doing all. He's driving just as hard for this spot as Ryan Blaney is trying to catch Kevin Harvick for his first victory ever.
The gap from first to second is 1.4. Joey Logano now going around the 88 of Cole Witt. Here comes Cole Witt right back on the low side. Are we going to go 3 wide here? Not quite. And again, Elliott able to hold off. 4 laps remaining here at Texas. Elliott gets way high. He may lose not one, but 2 spots. He's definitely lost 1. We now have a tie.
And it's going to be all Sadler can do to hold Cole Witt back there. I'm not sure he's going to be able to.
What a difference 2 weeks can make. The comeback at Kansas for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and now the late race issues for the 2 car. 3 laps to go. And now with Elliott Sadler in 12th position, Stenhouse is the new points leader.
Yeah, Stenhouse has got the 18 car behind him on fresh tires, though. He's got to hold him off for a couple of laps.
2 laps remaining. Kevin Harvick trying to reel in his 2nd win of the year.
Now, Ryan Blaney's still coming at him, but he's actually slowed down just a little bit from what he was. He was gaining 2 to 3 tenths a lap. Last lap, it was only 100th of a second.
Blaney restarted 13th. A remarkable run for the 18-year-old.
Black flag, Daddy, he ain't gonna get you.
White flag, you heard the spotter. He ain't going to catch you. And I think he's right unless Kevin gets wicked loose. Down the backstretch for the final time. Kevin Harvick looking for his 39th career win in his 290th nationwide race. The former Nationwide Series champion made it look pretty easy. He's led 127 laps tonight. Ryan Blaney with a career best 2nd. How about the championship? Here comes Stenhouse. It's a drag race for that final position for the 2 car. As Cole Witt comes home in 10th. And there you see the top 15.
That's the way to end my season anyway. Good job, guys.
Celebration for Ernie Cope and the 33 team. But for Elliott Sadler, he's going to climb out of the car and realize he is now in 2nd place in the championship by 1. Or no, wait a minute. It is exactly tied at 1170.
He's actually able to pass Cole Witt right at the end. A little disagreement here between Austin Dillon and Denny Hamlin, it looks like.
I think that disagreement there might go back to that final restart.
Kevin Harvick celebrates. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has to feel good. I mean, the last 2 races, all race long tonight, he had a car that was just not there until that last round of adjustments.
Well, I'll tell you, that's what champions are made of, to stick in there, hang in there like they did the last 2 weeks and get the finishes they really probably didn't deserve, but they manufactured. So I guess they do deserve them, but they didn't have.
Yeah, they worked hard for them for sure.
Elliott Sadler finishes in that 11th spot. And we have ourselves a dead heat with 2 races remaining. Dave Burns.
And Ricky getting a little punch there and a slap from Kyle. You are tied for the points lead again. And once again, I think we're looking at how did we get here, Ricky?
Yeah, he was just telling me that his monster car beat our NASCAR, but 3 times we've ran this, we beat him twice in it, so I think we're ahead in that. But that was a tough night, man. First run wasn't too bad. We got a little tight. Second run really loose and never really caught back up with it. That last restart, we restarted 11th. The restart before the last one, and I was just holding it wide open, going where they weren't, trying to get to the front. Got our track position, drove a little bit better up front, but all in all, it was a tough night, but we battled back the way we needed to, go on to Phoenix. But I think Nationwide Insurance, want to say hey to Christian Wise and everybody. Her brother's been sick up in Rhode Island. She wasn't able to come with us today, but thinking about all the victims also up, from the storms and stuff. So great race, go on to Phoenix.
Great top 5 for Stenhouse tonight, and your co-championship. Actually, he does have the lead, Marty, based on wins in the tiebreaker.
That is correct. With the number of victories that he has over Elliott Sadler, that would be the tiebreaker. But right now, with 2 races remaining, and we can't totally... here we go. Denny Hamlin and the 3 team. That is Danny Stockman there in the glasses. He's the crew chief for Austin Dillon. There's Ty Dillon in the mix as well, Austin's brother. And Jamie's right there, so let's find out what's this all about.
Well, Denny, you had some choice words there. Where exactly did that start? What happened?
Well, he's got to give room. That's why he always gets wrecked at Bristol and a couple other racetracks. First of all, he got his ride because of his name. Second of all, you got to take advantage of the opportunity. If he's points racing, you can't crowd a guy that's running. I'm on the bottom. I'm all the way to the apron. So I'm doing everything I can. Then after the checkered flag, he wants to run into me. So I run him into the fence. So Danny says, look, he ain't got to fix it. Well, maybe he needs to take his little ass over there and fix his race cars if he wants to keep wrecking. So he needs to learn a lesson.
All right, there's Denny's side of the story. Marty?
And very outspoken, to say the least. And there is Austin Dillon as he is walking back towards his hauler. Words exchanged with Cole Witt there on how both their races went. Cole had a good run going. His car sort of fell away at the end of the race. He ended up coming home in 12th position. So while some of these other teams continue to discuss things, let's check in on Victory Lane and catch the celebration for Kevin Harvick.
The last time he's in the Nationwide car this season, and he brings it to Victory Lane. So many times in the Nationwide season this year, you've led the most laps, but not ended up here. How good does it feel to finish it off this way tonight?
Well, it feels great. Obviously, I want to thank all these guys on the RCR Nationwide program. One Main Financial, Ream, Hunt Brothers, Menards, Chevrolet, everybody who makes this program go around. This is what we wanted when we put all this stuff together, was to win more races, and we've done a good job at that this year. We've had all but about 2 races of the 13 that we've been in that we could have won, and just needed the circumstances to go our way.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Marty?
All right, thank you, Vince. We wanted to talk with Elliott Sadler, but he wanted some time to get his thoughts together. So we'll find out if we can catch up with him a little bit later. Here's our ticket to the race, and it's not too long. It's 2 stops as the celebration continues with Richard Childress down in Victory Lane. Next week, we're at Phoenix International Raceway at 3:30 Eastern, and then 4 Eastern on November 17th from Homestead, Miami, and on ESPN2. Final comments?
What a great battle we've got now. We've got those 2. Don't count Austin Dillon out of this. He's only 21 back.
Yeah, it was a great finish and a great job by Harvick.
Well, it is a big night for Richard Childress Racing. Here's our calendar coming up. We've got NASCAR Sprint Cup Series here at Texas Motor Speedway, 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow on ESPN. And then our next stop, Phoenix, 3:30 Eastern next Saturday over on ESPN. And coming up next, we've got Sports Center. Congratulations to Kevin Harvick as he wins for the 2nd time this year in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. For our entire ESPN crew, I'm Marty Reed. Till we meet again.